Greetings, 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 each and every one. It is the 10th of January, 2023. I'm trying to practice on saying 2023 because I am used to saying 2022. So many know how that is, but it is the 10th of January, 2023. I will be sharing several videos, many articles on this day under the copyright disclaimer, under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, the copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. I will be sharing the videos and articles. I do not own the videos or articles. I do not know any of the people. They definitely do not know me. I'm not sharing them because I support their views. I guarantee you many don't support my views, but I'm simply sharing these things for educational purposes, for comment, and for teaching. It is up to each and every one that view the videos, look at the articles. It's up to you to decide. You pray, you seek the Most High, you do your own research and studying to find out whether or not these things is true. I give all the praise to the Most High, my divine Father, Creator, Sustainer, Giver of life, my everything. I praise Him. I thank Him for our Messiah, HaMashiach, that He came, He hung on the tree, He died so that we can live. We owe Him our praise, whether we believe it or not, because many don't believe. But because we don't believe it doesn't mean that it is not true. But we owe Him our praise. We owe the Father our praise. We owe Him our worship. He deserves it. And so I praise Him. I honor Him on this day. So much is taking place in this land, in this defiled place. But regardless of what's taking place, we must keep our eyes on Him. I released a message a few days ago, and it was a warning that was sent out. Warning, launch arrow soon. And as the Spirit of the Most High has given me, I released that message. It will appear before this one. I had this lesson ready, but because of the urgency with the warning, I wanted to sound the alarm. But an arrow represents many things. Could be more than what I have, but I can only give you what I know. If someone else have additional information, doesn't mean that, well, this person is wrong, that person is right. We can only teach with what we know, what information we have. But an arrow represents the will of the Most High. An arrow also cuts in two, which means what? To divide. In this hour, He's dividing the goats, which is wicked, and the sheep, which is the righteous or holy. We know that we are made righteous and we are made holy or made perfect through who? Our Messiah, our Heavenly Father, our Redeemer. It's nothing that comes from us that we so great, though we may be nice and all of these things. It does, as we say, we're nice and all of these different things, but it does not come through us. It comes through the Most High. So we must know that. Greetings, brothers and sisters. We must know these things. And so an arrow also represents what? Calamities or peril. And as I've shared, I've been getting peril underway. Peril is underway. Plan and prepare. Stand strong. Peril underway. Peril. And so when I know his voice and he says a thing, it is so. Plan and prepare. As I've been sounding the alarm since last year on my Facebook page, but I just began on YouTube. I think this is maybe my, third month, maybe fourth. I already have a strike already, but I praise the Most High because some things you just can't share. Everybody don't want the truth. The truth is a strong medicine and many people don't want it. And so this is why a lot of goats is falling now, because goats are what? Hard-headed. And they take their head and their horns and do what? Butt against the truth. Knock it down, mock it, scoff it. I don't believe it. Oh, that is not going to happen. That's not true. Who is that? Oh, child, that's nobody. These kind of things. But Ezekiel, he speaks of evil arrows, of famine, of destruction, etc., how famine will increase, will break the staff of bread, send famine and evil beast. I've already shared in different lives about the different animal attacks, which is parallel with your fourth seal. The fourth seal, it talks about the wild beast. But the fifth seal is already open as well. And so evil beast, coyote attack, raccoon attack, wild dog attack, shark attack, alligator attack, crocodile attack. All of this is taking place. And I went through different articles, different videos to show this because it's spread out. But it's happening. Even when you search, it is reported. It is an increase in these things. So these things is happening. Pestilence and blood shall pass through thee. Pestilence is more than sickness, as I've already released before in Ezekiel. Pestilence, excessive rain is a pestilence, which is what is excessive rain? Flooding. Does not the water wear away the land, cause corrosion? Fire is a pestilence. Hailstone is a pestilence. Do not fire consume and devour? So it comes in multiple things. And I will bring the sword upon thee. A sword can be a literal sword, but a sword represents what? A weapon. Could be a machine gun. Could be somebody working witchcraft against you. Could be this toxin, which is a sword working against many people. Could be where somebody overdosed on pills. That's a sword. That's a weapon. Somebody could attack you and push you down and you hit your head on the sidewalk. That's a weapon. A baseball bat, that's a sword. So it's a weapon. These things come in multiple forms, different ways, different means. And of course, it also represents what? War. And as I said, a weapon. These are different scriptures. 1 Samuel chapter 31:3, 2 Samuel chapter 22:15, 1 Kings chapter 22:34, verse 34, 2 Kings chapter 19:32, Psalms chapter 7, verse 13, Isaiah 22, verse 3, and Jeremiah 51:3. So if you're watching, especially those that watch the replay, pause it, write it down, read these things, search and seek to find out if these things is true. Because when people give this stuff and information and take the time to read, to study, to seek and search, to give you this stuff, take it, read it, research it, study it, look and see to find out if what is being said is true, instead of casting it down, taking the pearls and casting them down and trotting them under your feet. He also spoke of the bow. And he said, this is his doing. A bow represents power and authority, but also with the arrow in Psalm 91, it speaks of the arrow that fly by day. And so it didn't say arrows with an S, it said arrow. Now, it's symbolic for many things. A bow represents power and authority. It also represents war and fighting. He said it will be for an ensign. An ensign is a sign to give notice. It is a warning. A ensign is also given to point out a people. And we are pointed out. We are pointed out. Many people don't want to believe it, but we pointed out. This nation, this continent, I don't want to call it a nation. This continent, we are pointed out. This Babylon, pointed out. Egypt, the house of bondage, is pointed out. Or a flag at the front of a company of soldiers. So I'm going to leave it there, but feel free to watch that video. But I encourage each and every one in America, because we're going to be judged individually. Though we are in Babylon, he's separating the sheep. He's separating the goat. The Most High knows who's who in the neighborhood. That's not my job or anybody else's job to say who's holy and who's righteous and who's saved and who's not, who he called and who he didn't, and all of this stuff. He'll get it straight. But we as individuals, we need to repent. We need to turn to the Most High, Yah. We need to seek him and serve him, because he tests us. He looks on the inward parts. He knows our heart. Even when we do things, I've done things willingly knowing that I sin. So I have to repent. If that's my weakness, then I need to ask the Most High to help me. Help my unbelief, help my flesh, because I'm weak. I need to increase in my prayer and my fasting, because my flesh is controlling me. When we don't pray, we don't fast, we don't worship, we don't praise. He said this is what builds up your fire on the inside. This is why your fire go out. This is why you're crazy. This is why you're losing your mind. This is why you got PTSD. This is why you're depressed. Oh, child, we royal priesthoods. Oh, child, we a holy people. Well, did not the priest offer up a morning and evening sacrifice? So then how come we not offering up a morning and an evening sacrifice, priest? Didn't they go into the holy place? Then how come we not going into our secret place, priest? Offering up sacrifices and praise and worship, priest, which is incense, priest, in the nostrils of the Father, priest. How come? Because we want to claim all this stuff and say all this stuff, but if we not doing it, we don't believe it. This is why many is failing. And then we want to go to the white coats, and then they give you some sorcery. You cannot medicate a demon. As the Messiah said, this kind right here comes out how? Through prayer and fasting. Or maybe I got the special edition Bible. I think I got the Golden Child version. We don't want to hear it. Log off. We don't want to hear that. I don't have time for that. Okay. It's time to repent and turn to the Most High. If anybody is watching, you are backslidden, or if you never accepted the Messiah as your Savior, as Romans 8 and 9 says, if any man that's Hebrew or Gentile has not the Spirit of the Messiah, you are none of his. So it doesn't matter if you are the chosen and we the real Hebrew Israelites and we are the people of the Bible and oh child, yeah. If any man has not the Spirit, Ra'uk, Hakadesh, dwelling on the inside, then you are none of his. You have to be baptized with water and of Spirit. There is no other way. The kingdom belongs to the Most High. And if that's what he said is required, then that's what's required. And so we don't believe it, and I don't think that's so, and that's not necessary. But the fearful, the unbelieving, the abominable, the murderers, whoremongers, sorcerers, idolaters, because you making yourself a god. I don't believe. I don't think that. I don't feel it's necessary. I am not going to do that. That's what idolatry is. Self-worship, self-exaltation, self-willed, self-governed, self-led, idolatry. You are idol. You placing yourself, you saying that you know more than the Most High. I'm going to get up in that. I'm going to be in heaven right along with him. So you doing like Nimrod, you building up a tower up to heaven. And as he said, many people got ladders built up to heaven, but they not getting it. They not going to be in his kingdom. In the same way he knocked down Babylon, then he's going to knock down Babylon now. And when you get up on your ladder, he going to knock yours down too. Hard head, stiff neck, and all liars. Well, it's all right. I didn't tell a black lie because you know black is bad. I told a white lie. Well, I didn't tell a big lie. I told a little lie. All liars, white, black, yellow, green, brown, whatever color. The ones with the sprinkles, the whipped cream, and the cherry on top. All liars should have their part in the lake of fire. Fact suppressors shall have their part in the lake of fire. Well, I didn't lie, I just didn't say nothing. So when you knew the truth, but you didn't expose it according to the law, then you are assessor. If the man go out there and kill the dog, and you knew it, you didn't stop him, and then they asked, and you lied or you didn't say anything, do they not get the people when they murder and they know they murdered accessory to the crime? So you accessory to the crime, though you knew it and didn't say anything. So they should have their part, which burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death. This is the second death. The lake of fire and hell is not the same. Hell is the holding place. Death, hell, the grave, or Sheol. When you commit a crime, they send you to jail. Then you wait for your trial to stand before the judge. That's the judgment seats. One for the righteous, one for the unrighteous. Even those who are righteous, we're going to have to stand before the judgment seat. Our works is going to be judged and tried by the fire. Whether or not they are good, gold, silver, precious stone, or not good, wood, hay, and stubble. So we all going to be standing before the judgment seat. Then those who didn't believe, who was liars and fearful and all of these things, that's when you are going to be put in this lake of fire. Well, we know that the word of the Most High says that this place was for who? The deceiver and his fallen angels. But we know because of the continuous, fearful, unbelieving, murderers, whoremongers, sorceries, idolaters, liars, etc., because of unbelief, because of doubt, I can do what I want. We making up the image of the Most High in our head, how we want it to be, and we gonna change his word and say it's this way and it's that way, and no, we ain't got to do that, and no, we don't do this and that. This is how these things happen. because of continuous corruption and doubt and unbelief. This is how these things is going to come to pass. So you need to know it. And so briefly, I'm going to go over this because I'm going to attempt to do a series, a little history background. And I'm going to pray a little more concerning the statue of King Nebuchadnezzar. Because the problem that is taking place is just like the children, Yasharel, or Israel, as we know, they told Moses, oh, we don't want to hear God. We don't want to hear him. Tell him to be quiet. We want a man to rule over us. The same way with Prophet Samuel. Oh, no, give us a king. We want a king like the other. We want a king like the other nations. And we want a king to stand before us and lead and talk to the other nations on our behalf to be our representatives. We want a man to rule over us. So that's why King Saul came in there. And this is what's happening. And so we got many men on platforms, the pulpit and the big house. And so a lot of people think, well, you got the left wing. Well, I'm for the right wing. But as I've said before, and I'll say it again, there's two wings on a buzzard. A left wing is on the buzzard and a right wing is on the buzzard. Yeah, left and right is different. One may be more aggressive, one may be less aggressive, but it's the same buzzard. They both belong to the buzzard. And so this is what's taking place. We want the man or the woman of God to teach us and tell us everything, when we was warned of the wolves in sheep clothing. And like we tell our little children, don't talk to strangers. We was warned and told, be careful. Apostle Paul clearly said they're going to come up from among you. They're not coming off the street. It's going to be somebody that's been in there. Oh, child, we've been going to church together all our life. Yeah, we grew up together. We came from the own church. Oh, yeah, we came from the same community. Oh, yeah, we came. It's going to be somebody that's going to come up and rise up among you, he said. And so this is what's happening. We don't want to hear from the Most High. We don't want to hear from the true prophets and prophetess and teachers and leaders and evangelists and whoever. And some people that's teaching don't have the title of apostle, prophet, evangelist, pastor, teacher, but they have the word of the Most High in their mouth. And so he's using them with the word of knowledge and the word of wisdom to speak the things, because they are willing to go. They are willing to serve. They are willing to be used. The Most High is not seeking for mighty men. He'll make you mighty by his power and might. He's not looking for the most educated. He'll give you his knowledge and wisdom if you have his divine spirit on the inside. He's not looking for the best looking, the tallest, the muscular, and all of these natural attributes. He's looking on the innermost being. Are you willing? Will you be obedient, loving, and kind? That's what he's looking for. To be nurturing and caring. To be motherly or fatherly. Though we are not anybody's spiritual mother or father, but we're supposed to be motherly and fatherly, meaning loving and kind, meek and humble, lowly. To serve, not your slave, but to serve the Most High, to give you the word, to speak the truth. That's what he's looking for. But we don't want that. Be quiet. We want a man to rule over us. And so when you look at King Nebuchadnezzar, that statue, you read in Daniel. Daniel was a prophet. The chosen people were taken from their land. The enemy changed their names and gave them false names. What's your name, boy, as they love to call people? 55 years old, 80 years old, 90 years old, 100 years old, but still calling people boy. Older than you, but you calling them boy. You calling them girl or gal. My name is Kunta Kinte. Whip. Hit them with the whip. What's your name? I said your name is Toby. No, my name is Kunta Kinte. Whip, whip, whip. Whip, whip, whip. What's your name? Finally, my name is Toby. When the people of the Most High was brought over on ships, Deuteronomy 28 says that his people will be scattered on ships throughout the four corners of the earth. What people were scattered on ships throughout the four corners of the earth? You think about it. They were called the Yahs or El because they had Yah and they had El in their names. Many of them, not everybody, but a large portion. So change the name, give false names, just like Daniel and the three men. Even with that, I was thinking yesterday, you hear them called the three Hebrew boys. And I'll just let that sit there and rest. You think about it. He changed their diet, but they rejected. They refused to eat at the king's table. Just like Elijah refused to eat at Jezebel's table. Eating at people's table has meaning, spiritual meaning. You creating a covenant and a contract. Change their diet. Change your location. Change your name. All of this. Oh, just get you some pork chops or pork chop sandwich. Oh, I like extra mayonnaise with my pork chop with cheese and toast my bread and shellfish and lobster tails. And we think we doing something because we eating crab legs and lobster and shrimp. The buzzard of the sea, catfish stew and all of that. And then we don't understand because nobody, not enough, I won't say nobody, not enough is preaching the spiritual. Not enough is taking the word and lining it up with the natural. And then not enough reading and studying and seeking ourselves. So we don't know why we got cancer. Why we burning in our body with this inflammation, high cholesterol, diabetes, high blood pressure, which is what? Sickness, pestilence. Cancer is a pestilence because of these things. Change their language because we don't speak English. And I'll go into that a little further. Change their culture. No, you can't serve on the Sabbath day and you cannot circumcise your children anymore. Anybody that's caught worshiping, what did they do with Daniel when he was praying? See the point? We got to change your culture. Daniel prayed how many times a day? 3. No, you can't serve on the Sabbath day and keep it holy, though it says it. We know what it says in the book, but we're going to change you and we're going to indoctrinize you into our own culture. So we're going to change the day of worship to Sunday, S-U-N, because you're going to bow down to our God, the Sun God. That's what you're going to do. Don't circumcise your children. Anybody that do it, we going to kill you. Just read the book of Maccabees 1 and 2. Find out for yourself. And then change the image of the Messiah. We're going to change his image and he's going to look like our God or gods because they serve many. And as the Father gave me this morning, I've been putting this lesson together. I always add to when I woke up early this morning. It is to rob man of all the things. It makes us poor and weak. This is spiritually. It is to break you down. This part I added because it reminded me of the military. What do they say? They're going to break you down, strip you, and build you back up. So they're breaking you down to cause you to forget, to transform you, strip you of your land, strip you of your name, strip you of your diet, strip you of your language, strip you of your culture, strip you of your true Messiah, strip you of all your ways, and build you back up into what? Now you talking they talk, walking they walk, speaking they language, eating they food. And we talking about no weapon formed against me shall prosper. The weapon formed and it's prospering. But when people speak against it, as you say, we got to speak against it because it's wrong. So you can wake up. And this is how the world is worshiping the devil. But those who can see and hear, that's bold enough to tell you because we love you. So when that day comes, you won't hear those 7 last words. Everybody is going to hear 7 last words. I taught that lesson. It's on my Facebook page. We all want to hear, well done, thy good and faithful servant. But many is going to hear, depart from me. I know you not. Nobody want to hear it. But we know many is going to hear it. Because he said there's many false teachers, prophets, evangelists, apostles, etc., etc. Many is on the Broadway. He said few shall find it. Few, not many. The straight and narrow way. The road less traveled. So what are they doing? Now you got a mistaken identity. Lost identity. Stolen identity. And an identity crisis. We are not colors, people. Everybody by the byword white is not white. That's deception. Everyone who is called black or brown by these bywords is not connected to Shem. Well, how will I know? Get on your knees or your legs or your back or your stomach or however you pray or stand up and pray and seek the Most High. He will tell you. He can lead you. Get saved and filled with his divine Holy Spirit. His word tells us that Ra'uk, his spirit, will teach us all things. It didn't say everything. If it taught you everything, he taught you, excuse me, Most High. If he taught you everything, when would you sleep? But he will teach you what you need to know, lead you where you need to go. Though I'm on the path of righteousness and you on the path of righteousness, there's things for you. Greetings in the name of the Most High. He will teach you. Then when you look and study, the letter J was invented. The letter J was invented in 1520 by this man here who is Latin. The letter J is of Western European language, which is English. And I'm going to go into the language of the chosen people. It's all in the Bible. I'm going to give more than 3 scriptures. The name Jesus Christ was used for the first time as an English translation. Nowhere did the Most High tell anybody to change his name, his son name. He didn't say change their images or anything. Was in June of 1632. I'm going to say it again like the preachers like to say for the people in the back. His name, Jesus Christ, was used for the first time as an English translation. This is the Western culture, the Europeans that go by the byword white people. Translated the name. It was used for the first time in June of 1632. Now, does everybody that is called European or called white believe or have the same views and values? No, I'm talking about facts. Because the word of the Most High says that Satan is the what? Most subtle creature. It says that Satan deceived the whole world, did it not? So are we looking to see how he deceived us, or are we just busy going about our business, TikToking, Facebooking, jerking and twerking? Jesus is an English translation, adaptation of Latin and Greek translations. That's why I'm going to try to teach this lesson about the King Nebuchadnezzar statue. This is why the chosen people is not called Jews, Jews. So if the letter J was invented, what did that tell you? Joseph, Joshua, and anybody else named with a J. All of those people's names were changed in the Bible to English. It was done by the Roman empires who are who? Gentiles, Edomites. Again, everybody that's called white is not an Edomite. They are not white. That's a trick of the adversary. The image and paintings was inspired by Zeus and other gods. I'm going to go into it another lesson but I'm just hitting and missing. So when we accept the image of likeness, this is how we are worshiping Satan unaware. The same way with December 25th that people keep telling people is a pagan holiday, that's also connected to Zeus. When you look at those multiple gods, it's the same devil. They just changed the names and the images based on the location. Egypt, they're called one thing. In Greek, they call another thing. Persia, they called another thing. Rome, they're called something else, but it's the same devil. So when we look at the word, I just put these scriptures here, but it's more than enough. Because some people take one scripture and run down the road with it to make a case. Abraham was called what? The Hebrew. And I have the scriptures here. You can write them down and read it yourself. This is what we're supposed to do anyway. Instead of just going off of what somebody said, this is how you study. This is how you study the Bible. This is how you strengthen so you can quit being deceived and led astray. He was called what? The Hebrew. Genesis 14 and 13. Joseph, Potiphar's wife, who wanted him to lay down with her. The Bible described him as a nice looking man. I sure want me a piece of that. Genesis 39 and 14 in same chapter, verse 17. If you remember in Exodus, the Pharaoh wanted to kill our sons. You see our sons dying and getting shot in the street, don't you? We see a man, he down in the park, he got a gun. The police get there 3 seconds later, probably didn't even stop your car 3 seconds, and he dead, and the little boy had a BB gun. This what's happening. Foot on your neck. knee on your neck. The Hebrew women are not like, excuse me, I got a typo, the Egyptian women, because we got to get rid of these boys. We got to get rid of these males. Exodus 1:19. Paul speaks in his Hebrew language. Acts 22:2. Paul said of himself, I'm talking. You want to identify me? Let me tell you. You don't tell me who I am. I'm not a flat earther. That's your word. I'm a Bible believer. Believer in the Most High, His way. Don't label me an anti-anything. Don't label me. I'ma tell you who I am. He says of himself that I am a Hebrew of the Hebrews from the tribe of Benjamin. Philippians 3:5. He gave his own testimony when he was struck down by the Messiah, by the Most High, on the road of Damascus. Who is it, Lord, talking? When he spoke down, he said the Messiah spoke what? In Hebrew. You read it, seek it, and search it. There's more than one place. And we have so many false doctrines. That's why I taught the lesson about, did the Most High say a woman can't preach? Did he say that? Well, no, he didn't say it. Apostle Paul said it. Did he? Did he really? To keep quiet in the CHURCH, which means what? CIRCE or KIRK, depending on, again, where you from. The same way with your steeple, which is an obelisk, which is what? The sun god's penis. Your domes that sit on the Vatican, the White House, represents the sun god's wife, pregnant belly. Your cross that we love is their son, who is also baby Jesus, which is a God. So you decide. Acts 8:3-4. As Saul, this is before the Most High got a hold of him, made havoc of the way, entering into every house. You live in a house, don't you? This is not talking about the four-wall buildings that they call the house of the Lord. And Lord is who? That's another name, which I've taught on. Have multiple meanings. Beelzebub, the Messiah talked about. Who is Beelzebub? Lord of the flies. As scriptures say, there's many gods and many lords. So when people say God and Lord, who are they talking about? Hauling men and women. Hauling men and women. Committed them to prison. Therefore they, who is they? The men and the women were scattered abroad, went everywhere preaching the word. Let the word speak for itself. We don't have to add, just read. Acts 18:26. And he began to speak boldly in the synagogues. The synagogues is connected to Satan. This came through those empires as well. And I'm not going to go in it today, but I'm going to try to give as much detail. I know it's going to probably be a series because I want to take my time. Greetings, everybody. Thank you for joining. Please like and share. That way we can push the message out so others can get the message and learn and pray that they grow and open up their eyes and see what is happening before them, the wiles of the devil. Aquila and Priscilla. Aquila, that's the husband. Priscilla, that's the wife. This he here is talking about Apollos, when they heard him, that means the two, the husband and wife, because we a team. We not separate. They took him unto them and expounded unto him the way of the Most High more perfectly. He was doing a great job teaching the word. When he went in the synagogue, he won't down there worshiping. He's down there trying to teach the people to come out of this crooked place. To expound means to interpret. It means to explain and to teach. How do you know when a person go from teaching to preaching? Put it in the comment, please. How do you know when a person goes from teaching to preaching? So how else are we conforming to the ways? We was told not to conform to the ways. Same way, this gonna hit a lot of sisters, but let it hit you. And maybe it'll hit you to the point that you will repent. Brothers got things going on too. I'm going to hit the brother. Or shall I say the men. When you read the book of Jasher, you read the book of Enoch, the left out books, as the Most High said. They're not lost. They purposely left them out. You have three images here. Who is the woman and which one is the man? It's hard to tell. This is what the Most High is talking about. The fallen ones taught mankind witchcraft, how to make armor, weapons, paint, the mixing of paint. This is why makeup is wrong. The mixing of paint, because these wigs, eyelashes, fingernail polish, you fake this, you fake that, you fake breasts, you fake penis, and all of this stuff. Which one is the man and which one is the woman? Because we got a lot of this going on, but guess what? This is culture, not our culture. This is the ways of the Gentiles. And we sit right, I will not be conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of my mind. Then how come you got a wig on, a sew-in? We reap what we sow. Well, I got human hair. Whose hair do you have on your head? Is this why you got cancer? Is this why you going out of your mind? Is this why you drying up? Whose hair do you have on your head? Is it a witch's hair? You don't know. Everything is spiritual. You reap what you sow. You got a sew-in or a glue on. This makeup. Then you put on these clothes and this stuff. You feel a certain way. You can imagine when you dress up nice, you feel a certain way. No, don't bump up on me and don't do this. I feel like $1 million, as people say. You feel different. When you go down to the gym, you got your gym shorts on and you do your workout, your boxing class, you feel a certain way. When you listen, I won't always say, I would love to tell you I was always saved, but I won't. When I listen to DMX, man, I was ready to spar. I'm ready to fight. I'm ready to box. Just thinking about it, I'm moving. Why? Because everything is spiritual. Come on, somebody. You come home, your spouse, husband or wife, got the children down at mama's for the weekend, got the music playing, got the plates already ready, roses on the from where you park all the way to the bedroom. They don't have to say nothing. You know what time it is. You know how you feeling. Nobody open their mouth, but it's spiritual. Come on, somebody. You don't have playing in the background. Can't nobody do me like Jesus. I guarantee you don't. But some of this music, you don't need to play now, but you understand what I'm saying. the person in the middle, I think this is a woman. I don't know because I don't see the body and don't want to get up under the clothes. The one on the right, I think that's supposed to be an icon. I'm not sure. If it is that person, then that's a man on the right. But the one on the left in the dress is a man with the breast and in the behind stuck out with the heels and the wig and the makeup on. This is what's happening. This is a culture. But whose culture? It's not ours. This is why we was told not to be with the Gentiles. Does this, especially the unbelieving, this is unbelieving right here. Why? Because these ways because you're going to adapt to their ways. This is how King Solomon had the spirit of wisdom, the wisdom of the Most High, but died like a fool. I'm chosen, child. You can die out of the will, though you may be chosen. Same way with Samson. He had the power of might, but he died out of the will of the Most High. So you can keep talking about you the chosen one and this and that all you want to say. They died out of the will of the Most High. Solomon, well, you know, he had all those wives. Those wives led him out of the way of the Most High. It's in the Bible. Yeah, and he died out of the will of the Most High. You know, the Messiah, he turned water into wine. He did, but it's not what you drinking, devil. That's not a license to get drunk. Got ethanol in it. The same thing that is in your, that you put in your gas tank. So you gonna get a straw and suck up gas out your gas tank? Because that's what you're doing. That's why they call it spirits with an S. That's why you sick. Cirrhosis of the liver. It opens up your pineal gland in thy forehead. That's why your whole identity changed. Your mood changed. You wind up, you was down on Fifth Avenue, and when you came up, you was down in another state because it changes you. It alters you. You weren't born with purple hair. I'm going to get my hair dyed burgundy, cherry wine. This is what the Father is saying. This is what the fallen angels taught. This is why makeup, these false eyelashes, fingernails, and all of this stuff, these provocative clothes, because you allowed the weapon to form and prosper. Who told you something was wrong with my hair nappy and this kinky when you were made in the image and the likeness of your Father and Creator? It says his hair was like wool. What color was his skin? It said brass, didn't it? But not just brass, burnt brass. Nudity. That's connected to the culture of the Romans. That's why you always see the statues, they naked. That's why you got all your triple X, men with men, women with women. That's worship. That was worship to Mother God. Your Statue of Liberty, same one. Easter, Isis, Samaris, same goddess. The Enchantress, same goddess. That's why they're breaking out in their private parts. They can call it Monkey, whatever they want. Monkey Joe, Curious George. It's pestilence. It's a curse for your lifestyle. And now what? All you hear about is the DN with the snake in the middle. That's the future. The future with the snake. This what's happening now. Those that got the snake oil. That's worship. What does sorcery mean? Revelation 18:23b. Sorcery. Witchcraft, which is what? Religion. And pharmakia, what you see here, the future of. And so you got the same people that named the eras. And I know I didn't spell the one in the middle correctly, but I meant to do it that way. Hellenistic. medieval, dark ages. This is when the chosen people were taken from their land during the dark ages. And then we got denominations, which is what? Break it down. Demon, you could say really, demon nation. And I spelled that wrong, I believe. Well, what is a nation? United by history, culture, or language. Whose history? Whose culture? Whose language? And so we want to call people flat earthers and all these names. I encourage you to watch this video. As the Most High said, nobody ever left the earth. This is the plan for 2025. This video is over a year ago, but they planned this years ago against you. And you can keep on supporting these wicked people if you want to, because the sons of Satan is trying to sift everybody like wheat. And those that refuse to hear and seek and search, when somebody giving you the information, giving you the links, giving you all they know to give, stand up. I've been working on this since last week, putting this stuff together. I don't get on for an hour or 2 or 3 hours because I don't have anything to do. I have a family, a household. But I also have an assignment from the Most High to wake people up, to give you the things so you can seek and search for yourself. We don't know many things is going to happen to where it get to a place like Apostle Paul down with the church of Ephesus in the book of Acts. He said, I was with you 3 years. 3. It's time for me to leave now. I'm leaving you in the hands of the Most High. Every time I talk about it, I just about cry. Why am I leaving you in his hands? Because I'm not your God. Though I'm an apostle, I'm not your God. I'm not your Elohim. I can't answer all your questions. I can't answer all your God questions. No man can. I don't care how long they've been preaching and teaching, and I'm just so anointed. That's going to fail many people. Matter of fact, it's failing them now. This is what's happening. This is what they got planned. And they got a list of your 3-letter agencies. But we so busy and we don't have time to listen. Oh, child, they was on that live hour. I ain't got time for that. Then it's recorded. Watch what you can watch. Watch the rest of it and get the information and gather so you can learn. I do it all the time. The man had a 6-hour series. It took me 2 weeks to watch it, but I watched it. This is how you get edified. This is how you will see who your adversary is. You will know the wolf when you see him. Like the Father said, when you know, you will see. You don't know, you will never see it. You will have the wolf sitting beside you, the snake slithering in the bed with you. When you don't know, you won't see, he said. But when you see, that's spiritual. You will know it. We are not pre-tribulation. The same way they walked out of Egypt, we're walking out of Egypt. Babylon here. Egypt means house of bondage. We're not pre-tribulation, mid-tribulation, and any other kind. We in the tribulation now. 5th seal open. Jacob's trouble already started. Oh, child, we waiting for the deadly head wound. That's why I taught that lesson. The deadly head wound happened back in 1930s. But many people don't know it because I'm waiting on Pastor Cornbread to tell me. Watch the video, the deadly head wound. That was the Catholic Church. They even got articles about it. I encourage you to watch it. We dealing with the second beast. We talking about we waiting on Jacob's trouble. No, you ain't, baby. Jacob's trouble, we already in it. The head wound has already been recovered. And they setting up stuff already in this land. And many people gonna get swept away if you don't wake up. Swept right up in the way with the pharaohs if you don't wake up. They coming out with something else for 2025. I sounded the alarm last year. I shared an article about the smart toilet bowl, but I shared many things last year on different lives about the IO Mr. T. Just take the Mr. off. You get the point. I'm either speaking code. A lot of the articles I'm going to share, I'm going to show, I'm going to highlight. I cannot say certain things. This is how it is. Fact suppressing. One of the brothers, he shared some things about the AEYE. I know it's not, I'm saying it without saying it. Pull his whole video. Another brother released a message about this stuff. Boom, pull the video on strike. I shared some stuff when I first started on YouTube. Suspended me a whole week. Pull my video. So I have to be careful what I say and do. But we're going to get your children this time. This is the plan. I'm going to share the videos and I'm going to share the articles. So it's all about, if you look on this first image with the eyeball, because they love the eyeball, that's that false god that R-A or O-S-I-R-U-S. Again, same devil, but depending on where you go, same God. Those that like to say with the Black Panther, the woo for life, and they throw their hand across. So those that like to say that and do that, that's why I did that video. Same devil. So that's what you doing. You worshiping the devil when you do that. So we doing all this stuff and this culture. Ooh, child, we got us a black superhero, and ooh, we get so excited. Yeah, being deceived. This is biblical. You got to line up the spiritual, the word with the natural, so people can see it. So those that took part of the first photo here with the people with the purple or blue or whatever that color is, I just say purple. You see the word back in the background. Already in the system. Biometric already. Driver's license, they already got it. The babies is going to be from the cradle to the grave. Already working on it. Right now, they got this system on the bottom right. You see where it say South Carolina. The PD down in this area. They working on it now to be able to track fake IDs. This is where we're going. But I'll share all this because I'm still in my lesson. This is why the Most High is destroying this mountain. I'm going to give some more divine revelation concerning the 144. Because we got to get ready when these 3 days and nights of darkness come. How much longer after that, I cannot say. But this is when the Most High is going to gather his people. If you watching this video for the first time, then I encourage you to watch those videos concerning this video I did about the 144 versus the superhumans. Is no longer on my Facebook or YouTube page. But nevertheless, those who watched it praise the Most High. And those who didn't, well, you just didn't. But it is what it is. I had one video on hold for Facebook, but they released it. I'm waiting. I got them to release another video that they trying to hold up, talking about copyright. But nevertheless, I praise the Most High. And so I'm going to reveal some other things concerning the revival that I was given. So I'm talking about the destroying mountain. You can find this in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 51. And it is judgment against Babylon, this nation. I'm going to go over the whole chapter. Some things I got bullet points on, some things I don't. Thus saith the Most High, behold, I will raise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me. So when we are doing these things, we knocking down the word. That's not true. I don't want to hear it. So-and-so this and this and that. You are rising up against the Most High. If anything that I say or anybody else say and you don't believe it, that's on you. I want you to hear. I want you to seek and search. But if you don't believe it, you don't want to do it, that's on you, sweets. I'ma keep it moving. That rise up against me a destroying wind. That's judgment. And will send unto Babylon fanners that shall fan her. This is not because they sweating and hot. And shall empty her land. For in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about. So it's going to be multiple ones that's being used. Because the Most High uses the wicked to destroy the wicked. Against him that bendeth, let the archer bend his bow. And against him that lifteth himself up. I need to get my glasses on. Hold on 1 minute, brothers and sisters. Let me get my glasses. Oh, I don't know where the other ones are, but these will do. Spare her not. Destroy utterly. Slay. The slain shall fall in the land of the Chaldeans. That's another word for Babylon. Same place. And they that are thrust through the streets. For Yasharel has not been forsaken. It will say Israel, but I put Yasharel. Has not been forsaken, nor Yehuda, which is Judah, of his Elohim. So I highlighted verse 5 because a lot of people, not everybody, but many people say that, it's over for the chosen people and they won't be saved and all of this stuff. There's many things in the Old Testament that hasn't even been fulfilled yet. This right here, this is biblical prophecy for the end time. Ezekiel 38 and 39, that's talking about the Gog and Magog war, and the war in chapter 39, the war of Armageddon, the same battle that you see in the book of Revelation. So how are we talking about we the New Testament covenant and we under grace? We are. But however, we can't take the Old Testament and throw it out. There's so many different places that's speaking of the last days. And this is the kind of garbage that's being taught. And people is being led astray. So they have not been forsaken of the Most High. Though their land was filled with sin against the Holy One of Yasharel, but he has not forsaken his people. Like people say, flee out of the midst of her and deliver every man his soul. So everybody gonna have to stand for himself. Be not cut off in her iniquity. So you can sit around talking about you the chosen one and we the Hebrew Israelites and this one and that one. Flee out of the midst of her. This entertainment, these idols, this idiot box, this music, these evangelicals, these wolves in sheep clothing, this false doctrine and teaching, all of this stuff. That's how you flee out of her. Deliver every man his soul. So it don't matter if your daddy is an apostle and your mama is the great evangelist or whosoever they are or whatever they are. You got to deliver your soul. You can tell your children all day and night. Well, he 25 and she 28. They old enough to know better. It don't matter if you took them to the four-wall building with you all day life and your husband, he went, but he don't want to do it. Every man, you got to deliver your own soul. For this is the time of the vengeance of the Most High. He's going to render unto her a recompense, the big payback. That's what's happening. He got to pay them back for their sin. The Most High is long suffering. It didn't say forever suffering. There's a cutoff time. Babylon has been a golden cup in his hand and made all the earth. It didn't say some of the people, all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine. It's not talking about something you put in a glass. Therefore, the nations are mad. There's a whole lot of madness going on. Chaos, peril, death, famine, crushing, robbery, theft, sex traffic, sodomy, havoc. Now they got a business where they eating flesh now. I shared that. The Human MEAT project. One body. You can feed 40 people off of one body, and they got the nutritional facts for a human body. Where did you get this garbage from? Who even thinks like this? This is what's happening. And we talking about this place is a blessed place according to whose standards? Anybody that could say that? You didn't come out of Babylon. You got stinking thinking, and you need to wake up. I got 2 articles on my Facebook page about it. Human MEAT. That's cannibalism. Anybody in the world of the Most High that ate humans was categorized as an abomination. And we sitting around talking about we don't understand why the judgment is against this land. You better wake up fast. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her. Take balm for her pain. And I'm hitting and missing these scriptures. If you know, you can read it yourself. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. She not healed, don't want to be healed. Forsake her. Showing people on the news, showing them on YouTube, showing them on different places. You got the great bishop down at Puffy Puff birthday party, but we still talking about he's a man of God. This man with lipstick and a dress on, we still talking about he the man of God. This one having sex with little boys, little girls, the single mamas, single women, but we still talking about the good man and a good woman and according to whose standard? Not according to the written word of the Most High. Babylon don't want to be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not. Forsake her and let us go everyone into his own country. This individual, we got to stand alone. You hope somebody will be with you by your side, but if not, I got to stand alone because I'm coming out. For her judgment reaches up to heaven. This nation stink. This continent, I should say, a sewage, and is lifted up to the skies, and it stinks in the master's nostrils. Therefore, it should stink in your nostrils to see and to know what's going on in these underground bunkers and tunnels where they got these children and killing them and drinking their blood and all of this stuff, torturing them. But you talking about this a blessed place. Really? If this blessed, my goodness, I hate to see what cursed is. Brought forth our righteousness. Come and let us declare in Zion the work of the Most High. This is why he's delivering his people, the Hebrews as well as the Gentiles. This is why he got to get us out of this place. If he don't shorten the days, no flesh would live because they working constantly. They got a meeting now. I think it's the 17th. I forgot to pull up that article where they coming together again. That's why we got to pray. Let the Most High know that we are not against this. Pray and ask him to intervene. Pray and fast. When he wake you up in the morning, midnight, 2, 3, 4, whatever time, get up and pray. Instead of turning on the TV, scrolling on the Facebook, in the snack cabinet eating, pray concerning these things. that's taking place. Let him know, though I'm in Babylon, I stand against it. I stand with you. I stand against these things. Don't allow the weapons to form. Don't allow them to prosper. Come against this. Tear down these altars. Destroy the works of their hands and feet, the words of their mouth. A lot of things they doing at night when people sleeping. So much I could get into. They doing a whole lot of wickedness during the hours when you sleeping and snoring. Babylon will fall. Flee and save your soul. Babylon is represented as God's instrument of judgment against nations. Those that refuse to quit with this pagan worship. People keep telling you Christmas is pagan, but you want to do it. You still want to decorate. Still want to decorate with the Valentine. That little Valentine baby is the sun, God's son. Keep telling you this, but you keep doing it. Keep celebrating these so the days don't even match. Sunrise service, the name is in that. Sunday is not the day. We supposed to worship the Sabbath. You keep doing it. Keep on with it then, bruh, sis. Keep on. The golden cup represents great wealth. Also represents stolen goods. Could mean some other things, but again, I'm putting what I know. Well for her. This is sarcasm against Babylon, who has caused much pain, much suffering, much death, stolen the people from the land, stole their identity, stole them from the slave trade, took the babies from the mother's womb, threw them in the rivers, gave them to crocodiles, hung them on trees, beat them, tortured them, tormented, experimented on them, everything. Same way with the Holocaust, but you don't ever hear that part. We only hear one group in the Holocaust, but you had brown and black people that they call by the byword before they even killed the ones they talking about was destroyed. But we don't hear that. We gonna lift the rug up and sweep that under because we want to paint a picture. We want to lift up certain people and we hide this. This is what's happening. And so the people over there who you are told are the chosen people is not. That's why they ranked number 2 for skin cancer, because they in a place they don't belong. What's cancer? A pestilence. When you read Genesis 10, where the 1 through 5, where the land was separated, split, the Ashkenazis come from Jasher, from Gomer. Ashkenazi Jews. It says the isles of the Gentiles. So how are they chosen? The Gentiles is not the chosen people. And this is what this nation, the Western culture, has set up. So we've been taught within the 4 walls, we the Gentiles, and we're not. When you read and study the Acts of the Apostles, everywhere Apostle Paul went, he was assigned to the Gentiles, was he not? Every place was connected to. When you look up all those places, they are connected to the Roman Empire, who are the Gentiles. The Messiah came for his own. The Gentiles was grafted in the Acts of the Apostles, chapter 10. And Apostle Paul told them, don't get lifted up because you are grafted in. You are a wild branch. That's why the men have sex with men. Oh, child, it's okay. We drinking baby blood. Oh, child, the priests down here, when the little boys get circumcised, they suck the blood out of their penis. I got an article on my page. They suck the blood out of the penis. And this how a lot of those baby boys end up getting that STD, syphilis. So that tell me your mouth is nasty. This what's happening. That's why the Most High is exposing this, so people can come out of this false religion and wake up. Make bright the arrows, gather the shields. The Most High raised up the spirit of the kings of the Medes against Babylon. Why? To destroy it. Because it is the vengeance of his. This is his vengeance. So we don't need to blame nobody. Oh, child, them prophets and prophetess. Oh, child, the chosen. Oh, no, baby. No, don't blame nobody. Look to yourself. Look to the hills. Repent and cry out. Don't blame nobody. I don't even blame them because I lived in sin myself. We got to repent for what we did. Were you reading? Were you studying? Were you seeking? Were you searching? So we all got to repent. We all got to come away. We all have to unlearn, learn, and relearn. That's why he said the renewing of your mind. He told us to study, to show thyself approved. That's everybody. So we can't, though the preacher, some of them, not everybody, but like he said, he got a faithful few, but not many. So we have to give an account. We can't come with the blame game, because blame game means you didn't repent. You still are operating in pride. This is the Most High's vengeance, the vengeance of his temple. His temple is up high. I do remember the word say that this is his temple and the Messiah is a temple. And he said our body is a temple. Did he not? So that means our body is the third temple. Set up the standard upon the walls of Babylon. Make the watch strong. Set up the watchmen. Prepare the ambushes. For the Most High doeth devise and done that which he spake against the inhabitants. So everything his people been sounding the alarm is coming. I told people to get ready and winterize. I put a post on my Facebook page. Get ready. Am I saying that these things is going to happen this winter? No, I'm not saying it's going to happen. Am I saying it's not going to happen? No. Is it going to happen? No, I'm not saying that, because I don't know the day or the hour. But as I've already shared in another live, he said winterize. I think I shared it twice, and I'm saying it again. Get your house ready. Plan and prepare. Because even beyond the winter, you're going to need these things. Get your stuff now while you have the money, because when this money change over, we cannot use it. So be planning and preparing your land, your house, your pantry, your gardening tools, extra fertilizer, whatever it is you need, and get it ready. I don't know how much more, and people, I'm tired of hearing it. Well, you might get tired, but I'm going to keep saying it as much as I can say it. Noah preached 120 years. How many got in the ark? Besides his family, 0. So you just let that sink in. You talking about you tired. When things shift, you're going to wish you would hear. Could hear somebody again, the famine of the word. The Bible talk about how it's going to be so many people laid to waste, how men going to be looking and seeking for another person, how the land going to grow up and fruit on the trees and this and that, but nobody to till the land, nobody to get the fruit off the trees. You going just like Will Smith and iRobot. I'm not saying it to scare you, but I'm telling you, this land gonna be laid to waste. Am I happy? No. But many people is wicked. They defile. They don't want to hear. They don't want to believe. Oh, child, this ain't gonna happen. It's coming. You got to get ready. Oh, that dwelleth upon many mountains, abundant in treasures. Thy end is come. All this money they stacking and storing up, ripping and robbing people. All the free labor from the slave trade. All the free labor they get now. Oh, child, we got us a big, nice Christmas bonus and this. They ain't paying you what you worth. Matter of fact, the money don't even have value. You got people shooting and robbing and killing. I shared that video of that man, the Gentile. He said, we not even the chosen people. That's a lie. He said, we Gentiles. We own the banks. People and called us dumb. And people think they voting. We been took over the voting system. We put who we want in office. So people sitting here arguing, talking about left wing, right wing, I'm a this and I'm a that. You deceived. Satan is the god of this world, meaning what? The systems. You been deceived. They hacked the media They own your news. So you ain't gonna hear prophecy. I ain't heard the president. I ain't hear him say it on the news. You won't hear it. Operation Mockingbird. Go study it. Operation Paperclip. Go study it. And come away from this foolishness and the measure of thy covetousness. The Most High has sworn by, saying, I will fill thee with men and caterpillars. This is not the caterpillar turning into butterflies. And they shall lift up a shout against thee. These is terms, weapons of war, machines and armor. That's what that is. So who were these people? They lived in northwest Iran. And they were allied with Babylon in the destruction of Nineveh back in 612 BC. But later they joined with the Persians. Persians is also who is a part of the statue on King Nebuchadnezzar. Persian, Phoenician, to defeat Babylon in 539 BC. And I put the quote of the man who said this. Medes and Persia are linked together several times in the book of Daniel. I have the chapters here. Anybody that want to read and learn and seek and study, there it is. Pull it up. What is caterpillar? Locusts or many invaders. It can also be men. Because what do locusts do? It's a devouring spirit. So the locust, the cankerworm, the caterpillar, the palmer worm, your money is every time something breaking down or tearing up, you don't have no moths and no caterpillars in your wallet, do it? It's a devouring spirit. It's spiritual. That's what it means. Consume and devour. The same way with the flood. That is a pestilence. The same way with fire. That is a pestilence. They burning all the food processing plants, and we sitting around looking like the Most High say, the food gonna be running out of here. Whatever the people grow that you eating, unless you got local farmers and you got plenty of local farmers, whatever you ate in 2022, that's from storage from 2021. So if they destroying all the stuff, we in 2023 now. All those food processing plants, the meat plants, the cereal plants, the butter plants, the meat, and all of this stuff, your grain, etc., holding up your food in those ships. You know you can't eat that. That was 2022. So what you think you're gonna be eating in 2023? As the farmer said, they cannot kill all of their stuff. Number one, them and their family got to eat. Then they got to allow those animals to produce more animals. Now you got these wicked demons passing a law about slaughtering animals. Slaughtering animals. You can't do certain things with the birthing of the animals. Sometimes you have to help the mother cow along. You have to stick your hand in there. These wicked demons is speaking against that. They're calling it, they're using a sexual term, like you molesting the cow. I got to pull it up, but all of this stuff is happening. And we sit around looking and being entertained by the idiot box, wondering who gonna make it into the playoffs and all of this. I don't care who making it in. Even those balls, BALL, is symbolic for the God, false God who? BAAL. All these people is paid to entertain you. Like that song, Sin in the Clowns. Nothing but a big circus. We got to get it together. He has made the earth by his power. He established the world by his wisdom, stretched out the heavens by his understanding. I'm skipping down to verse 17. Every man is brutish by his knowledge. Every founder is confounded by the graven image. Their molten image is falsehood. So those that want to argue about the image of the Messiah, the molten image is falsehood. There is no breath in them, so they can't deliver you. So when the earthquake get to shaking, they're going to fall on the ground and break. They are vanity, the work of error. In the time of their visitation, they shall perish. This is what's happening with the prophet Elijah and those that bowed down at Jezebel table, weeping and whining and beating drums and calling and crying out. God never did send fire down. Elijah, he didn't do all that. He didn't even give a long speech before the Most High sent fire down. And that's what he's saying. He going to answer by fire. He is going to answer. Oh, yeah. Hiya. Oh, Shia. He's going to answer by fire. The portion of Jacob is not like them. He is the farmer of all things. And Yasharel is the rod of his inheritance. The Most High of hosts is his name. The Most High, our divine Father and Creator, he created all things. He created it and he sustained it. He's not a deadbeat daddy. So we don't need to compare him to some absent father or somebody that mishandled you or mistreated you. And then we don't need to treat every man like that they're a deadbeat, because every man is not a deadbeat. The Most High is going to topple over these false gods. This is what's happening. So he's stripping away the same way in Egypt. Those that believed in the sorcery, the pharmakia, they were stricken by boils. They medicine god. Turned the waters into blood. They had a god for that. Hot dog god, spaghetti god, Cheerio god, the rain god, the earth god, agriculture god, all of these gods. This is what he's doing. He's stripping the gods away. Why? So you can depend on me. So who are you going to trust in this hour to sustain you? His chosen people are special, and Yah is special to his chosen ones. So those who hear and believe, I'm in peace. Though these things be so, I'm in peace. I rest well at night and sleep well at night. Sometime I be bothered. I was heavy for the last couple of days with people with this image they talking about and the name and all of this stuff. It bothered me, but I still slept good at night. It is by legal and moral right that the Most High's chosen people will receive their inheritance. So you can't take it away. You can't make yourself be chosen when you are not. You just psyching yourself out, because he is our Father. The Hebrews and the believing Gentiles. The Father will make sure that his children, his people, will receive what they belong, so you can't take it. He is the judge, and so he's going to make sure that his people have what they need. So when you have what is called the new covenant and the old covenant, or as they say, testament. What is a testament? The same way when a person died, they set forth a will and testament. You can't get any of that stuff as long as they living, so somebody have to die. So the Messiah died so that we can receive the promise. And so what do? They get a lawyer and they get a judge. So the judge is going to make sure those people get what they deserve. And you can't steal it and change neither alter it, because it's written up in heavenly places. And you can't get up there. Can't nobody make it. So he stretched out the earth. So I'm going to cover this briefly. This right here was taught in school in the 90s. Early 90s. But they finally got rid of it. I included a link with this young man here. I call him young. He might be old enough to be my daddy, but hey, I say young. Because this agency here, as you can see, the title of the article, the video, is the same that you see here. The former Prez, Bush, baked beans, Kennedy, their grandfathers worked and assisted that man with the Holocaust. You study and research yourself. But as he stated in this video, those that were there, this nation, they brought them over here. Scientists. So what were the scientists doing back then? Experimenting, won't they? So they took them and split them in these agencies. The 3-letter and the 4-letter agency. The 3-letter agency, you got 7 different agencies. Many people think it's just one, but it's 7. He'll go into it. But he found out that it was wrong. He's no longer in it. So he's going to give you some information. But the title of the video I have on the bottom, but like I said, for whatever reason, if they pull it down, I don't think they should. Like I said, the articles, I didn't share the link, so I think I'm okay. I'm trying to speak without speaking because, some things you can't say and all of this. But even the man, Tyson, and the one that used to do the Saturday morning, Bill Blank, the science, Bill, if you know what I'm saying. He even said nobody ever left this place. And Tyson says himself, what about this place? Is it round or is it other? It's flat. And one of the gentlemen that said that he was a part of the travel out to the place, he's caught on video. They didn't go anywhere. And he told the boy, if you say something about it, you can't do this. And the boy had him recorded. But all that's on there. Because you got over 200 and something scriptures. If you got over 200 and something scriptures in the written word of the Most High, telling you it's stationary, it's level, it's stretched out, it's a spear and all of this. I mean, my God, what more do you need? One scripture, then yeah, I can argue. No, I can't go off of that. I need a little more information. But you got over 200 scriptures that's telling you this, and you still want to hold on to it, and you got people that work with the agency. Even you got pilots telling you, well, when you up in the air, is it this and that? No, it's flat. I mean, come on, somebody. Come on. I'm not going to read all of this. Again, you can watch the replay and pause it. But I got this, as you can see, Odd TV. Shout out. Again, I already went over the copyright, so I don't own any of this. But this Alberto Rivera, a Jesuit priest. Just let that sink in. Jesuit priest. And I got this, took these from here. During their order, they created the what? The one globe religion. This is all a part of that. What they're coming up with now is Mother Who, EARTH. Her belly is what? The round globe. I have that in that lesson. It's the same devil. And who is that goddess? It is Satan, just in the form of a woman. This is what they're coming with. This whole green and all of these different terms. We got to save the what? So this is what they're talking about. This is worship, people. Their goal, this was their goal. To make everyone a part of the CHURCH. We got to bring them all together. It don't matter if you atheist, you work witchcraft. Oh, come on, child. Who you say is Muslim? Come on over here. Who you say? Oh yeah, child. You worship the spaghetti god? Come on. We just gonna all, because we serve the same God. And technically you do when you in religion. Didn't know it, but it's true. This is in the 1990s here, this article. If they say this, you will be thrown in prison. They said that I said it's round. Anybody that teach out of that book, you're going to be cast in prison. Didn't the Most High say that they will cast you in prison? See, we missing it. I've missed it too. This stuff been going on. Damnable. They said it was damnable and a heretic doctrine. That's what they said. You got this article. But these people, they knew, this person they writing this article, these wicked people know that the earth is FLAT, as your pancakes you eat in the morning. Teaching that it is a spear, it's a spear, cannot be allowed to continue under any circumstances. This is what they said. You continue to teach this and tell people that, we're going to cast you in prison. That's what the Most High said. See, all this stuff has been taking place right under our nose. I put that twice. Moving right along. Thou art my battle axe. This is his chosen people he talking about. This is the 144. This is his chosen, his elect. You are my battle axe and weapon of war. For with thee I will break into pieces the nations. With thee I destroy kingdoms. So the Most High, he's not coming down here. He's going to work through his people. But though God, he didn't do it. The devil do it. Who you think sent the devil to do it? People. The devil is a created being. So if the enemy is doing it, the Most High is allowing it. The question you need to be asking is, why? What's happening? What am I missing? What kind of sin? What kind of corruption? What am I seeing? Questioning, not in questioning God, the Most High, but questioning is to seek and find out what's taking place so that I can repent, so that I can get it right, so that I can escape the trouble, the judgment. That's what. I destroy kingdoms, and with thee will I break into pieces the horses and the rider, and with thee will I break into pieces the chariot and the rider, and with thee will I break into pieces man and woman, and with thee I will break into pieces the old and the young. With thee will I break into pieces the young man and the maid. I will also break into pieces the shepherds of his flock, and with thee will I break into pieces the husbandman, his yoke of oxen, and with thee will I break into pieces the captains and the rulers, these world leaders, the shepherd and the flock. That's not just the ones in the field. That's the ones who talking about they the shepherd and they over the flock. This is talking about. And I will render unto Babylon and to all the inhabitants of Chaldea all their evil they have done. Not some of it, all of it. In Zion, in your sight, saith the Most High. The Most High will use the 144 to destroy. He's going to use them. He's going to use chosen ones. He's going to use certain nations. He's going to use multiple things to bring this place, to bring this world, this earth to ruin. The 144 will be endowed with dunamis. I've spoke of this dunamis before, which means power and might. It comes from the Most High. But David had this. This is how he was able to break the bow of steel and leap over the wall. The same way with Samson had the power of might, where they were able to defeat the bear, defeat the lion, and do all these mighty feats. Therefore, when you see the images of Samson, you always see muscles. But what was the question that was always asked about Samson? Where does his strength lie? Where does his strength lie? So if he had big muscles, would a person have to ask that? No. So obviously, he didn't have big muscles the way you see them, like Incredible Hulk or Arnold Schwarzenegger, for somebody to be asking where his strength lie. Just give it some thought. I could be wrong, but you give it some thought. So a lot of things we know that come on the idiot box is not true. So who's telling the vision on the television? Is it their vision or the vision of the Most High? Babylon was a hammer throughout the earth, but now the Most High is going to use his battle axe as a weapon to destroy this nation. He is going to repay. He said, I will repay. So we don't need to blame anybody. when the Most High used the bear, when he used the red dragon, when he used the Persian cat to destroy this place. And whosoever he will with this, what they talking about, they got the purge going on, the Safety Act. The wicked, he says, shall destroy the wicked, but he will take care of the righteous. Romans 12:19. Dearly beloved, avenge not yourself, but rather give place unto wrath. For it is written, vengeance is mine. This is what the Most High said, I will repay. So however the Most High decide to do it, that's his business. We just need to make sure that we in the right place and in the right standing. Matthew chapter 24, 29 through 31. We're not pre-tribulation. It says immediately after the tribulation of those days. It talks about the darkening of the moon. I've already covered this. When the Messiah was in the tomb for 72 hours, you even go back to Egypt, they had those 3 days of darkness. And Prophet Joel speaks of it in the 2nd chapter, the 3rd chapter. You have here, which is the end time discourse. You have in the book of Revelation where it talks about the darkness. So people talking about, well, where is this at and where is that at? It's in here. You got to read it. Then you need to be filled with the divine Holy Spirit. You need to pray. You need to seek and search. Okay, I heard the person say this. Is this true? This is what he's talking about. When these times of darkness come, it talks about the sun will be darkened and the moon will not give her light, and the stars, fallen ones, shall fall from heaven. This is what this is talking about. Verse 30. I'm skipping. Like I said, I'm not reading everything, but you can take this stuff and read and seek and search yourself, pray and ask, is this stuff true? Then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn. Tribes of the earth, not white, yellow, red, brown, and black. Tribes of the earth shall mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. In verse 15, if I remember correctly, that's when it talk about the son of perdition. Right here, we in verse 29 through 31. So it's after, it says immediately after the tribulation. So how is we talking about we going somewhere? Because we going off the idiot box, and we going off of what the wolf in sheep clothing is talking about. And then we're not reading and studying to show thyself approved unto the Most High. So he will send his angels with the great sound of a trumpet. They should gather together his elect. Gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. That's what it said. Revelation 1:7. Behold, he cometh with clouds. This is not talking about the white puffy stuff. This is talking about he's coming with his people. You read about the cloud of witnesses, right? Okay, so here we go. Let's line it up. And every eye shall see him. Well, how can every eye see him with the big round ball? They can't, the way that they have the continents position. Every eye wouldn't see him. But if we go by the divine word of the Most High, as you call it, the flat EARTH, then every eye will see. If we start looking up in the sky, you got your sun up right now. If you drive around in your area, just a short distance away, you will see the MOON. That right there will tell you that that's a lie, that we not on a ball spinning around, according to what they telling you. You shouldn't even be able to see the moon. Every eye is going to see him, and they also which pierced him. All the kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. And then when you have chapter 6, verse, same book, chapter 6, verse 12 through 17, the sixth seal, it talks about the earthquake. The sun will be black as sackcloth of hair. This is parallel. The moon as blood. That the reason why one of the brothers, he gave the divine revelation concerning that. This is when this fire is going to be coming down at the sky. It's going to be so much, as I've already shared last year. He said fire, liquid fire, and brimstone. And when that fire start falling, he said it's going to be hitting more than it's going to be missing. This stuff is going to be coming down against the wicked, against the unbelievers. You got to trust and believe that the Most High will keep you and cover you. Is he your divine protector? If you say it, then you need to believe it. He will keep you and carry you through it all. Did the word not say those who are alive and remain? So that means everybody not going to die. The stars of heaven fell unto the earth. This is talking about the fallen ones. This is not the natural stars. Even as the fig tree casts her untimely fig when she is shaken of a mighty wind, the heaven departed as a scroll when it was rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places. All of these different islands, all of this land, all of this stuff is going to crumble. It's going to fall. And the kings of the earth, what is kings? Leaders, rulers, the elites. Those who in prestige, those is in power, those who is in control. Not with crowns on, but those over there with crowns on too. That they included in the bunch. And the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, the mighty men, the bond, the free men, they hid themselves in dens and rocks. So that's why they got their underground bunkers already and got it loaded up with food and all of this stuff, because they know this. You might not believe the Bible, but they believe it. They know the Messiah. The Bible, the word say, even the devils, the demons, they fear and tremble. They know it. You keep on rejecting if you want to. They know it. But the enemy, he hoping that he gonna win the battle, but he ain't. He not. Read the word. So you can sit there all you want to talking about you an atheist and you don't believe in the creator. And, well, I can't believe in him because I don't see him. You don't see air, but you didn't stop breathing, did you? Hold your breath for an hour and let's see how that happened. You can't see air, so it can't be true. If that's what you want to do, that's a lie. That's false. But don't hold your breath. I encourage you don't. But I'm just making a point. You get the point. So Ezekiel 39, 6-12, he talks about sending fire on Magog and among them that dwell carelessly in the isles. And they should know that I am the Most High. So will I make my holy name known in the midst of my people. So this is talking about that big war, the Armageddon. So though this is in the Old Testament, this has not happened yet. And I will not let them pollute my holy name. Oh, child, his name is polluted because, number one, his name is not God. The Son's name is polluted because his name is not Jesus Christ. All the Hebrew names have been changed and altered. Polluted. Polluting his name. Oh, he ain't going to do this. Oh, God, you know he love. And yeah, he is love. But what about the righteous indignation? What about the wrath of God? What about the vengeance of God? What about the jealousy of God? What about that side? A man, you got to have a chest, don't you? Your chest, you got a left and a right. A woman have a breast, don't she? A left and a right. Are you one-sided? You have a front and a back, don't you? So how come we want to suck on one breast and not the other? Same way with breast milk. You feed the baby off of one breast too much, that breast get too tender, you will hurt. You got to switch the breast. How come we on one breast sucking? That's all we want. Just do whatever you want to do, and we'll suck on mercy all day. And we can just sin because God is love. And this is why stuff happen to people now. And many people don't want to preach it and teach it because this kind of teaching don't fill up golden buckets. And I got two houses. I got one on the east side and one on the west side. And I got my children, they in private school. Yeah, you're going to have some visitation too, because this is what's taking place. All this sugarcoating. I will make my name holy, my name known in the midst of my people. I will not let them pollute my holy name anymore. You're not going to pollute his name no more. won't even release his true name, won't release the Messiah true name, won't release their identity, sitting down under the Vatican, under lock and key, all the artifacts, all the books, all the scrolls, all the images, won't release it and won't release the people. And the heathen shall know that I am the Most High, the Holy One of Yasharel. Behold, it is come, and it is done, saith the Most High, Adonai, Elohim, this day whereof I have spoken. And they that dwell in the cities of Yasharel shall go forth and shall set on fire and burn the weapons, burn the shields and the bucklers and the bows and the arrows and the staves and the spears, burn, 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 burn for 7 years. It's going to be so many bodies that we're going to be burning this stuff for 7 years. So they that shall take no wood out of the field, neither cut down any of the forest, burn the weapons with fire, spoil those that spoil them. You gonna spoil those that spoil you, rob those that rob them, saith the Most High. And it shall come to pass in that day that I will give unto Gog a place thereof, graves in Yasharel, the valley of the passengers on the east of the sea, and it shall stop the nose of the passengers, and they shall bury Gog. You're gonna bury them and all their multitude, and they shall call it the valley of Hamon-Gog. In 7 months shall the chosen ones bury them. 7 years, you're gonna be burning weapons. I suppose the Most High gonna have workers, y'all the weapon burners, and y'all the body buriers. 7 months burning weapons. Burying bodies in 7 years. That means that's a lot. You got more weapons. But he gonna give his people the victory, because it don't matter what you got. The Most High is going to give his people the victory. So they going to be burying their dead bodies for 7 months. Why? So that they may cleanse the land. And all the people of the land shall bury them. And it shall be to them a renown the day that I shall be glorified. So people going to be happy because they loosed from the house of bondage. I speak against thee, O destroying mountain, said the Most High, which destroyeth all the earth. I will stretch out my hand upon thee. I will roll thee down from the rocks. I will make thee a burnt mountain. They shall not take of thee a stone for a corner, nor a stone for foundation, but thou shalt be desolate forever. I'm going to skip down. Call together against her the kingdoms. You got these 3 kingdoms here that's listed. Appoint the captain against her. Skipping down to 28. Prepare against her nations, the kings of Medes, which I already talked about. I'm skipping down, verse 29. And the land shall tremble in sorrow, for every purpose of the Most High shall be performed against Babylon. Mountains, as I've already covered before, represents kingdom, also a government, which is a part of the kingdom of the adversary. I've already covered who this nation is. It is a part of that place, as well as the cat. They became a confederation of nations. So you have these 3 people here is present day Armenia, which is connected to, you see in the parentheses. I'm trying to speak without speaking. There was once a part of this particular empire. And so the soldiers, they will not be able to stand. The bear on the left, the red dragon on the right, and the Persian cat in the middle is going to be used. I thought about this filthy nation here with this whole stuff going, this whole thing going on. How can anybody stand when you got this corruption going on, this injection going on? This is why other nations. This is why other nations is other continents and countries is mocking this nation And now it's being exposed that this deception that rolled out 2 years ago, a lot of these people, children and stuff, is dying. This stuff is not right. And people is wanting answers. There's some stuff that's coming out in court. This nation has done much wicked, much perversion. If you don't know who you are and you easily persuaded by what's taking place, this is how the weapon has formed. Can you even handle a weapon? I'm just speaking. Help us, Most High. The mighty men of this nation have forborne to fight. They remained in their holes. Their might has failed. They became as women. They have burned her dwelling place. Her bars are broken. One post shall run to meet another, one messenger to another. They slew the king, the city, from one end to the other. The passengers are stopped. The reeds are burned with fire. These terms here is like when I talked about the wine, the fans, these terms is connected to the threshing floor terms, how they used to take the wheat and they would crush it. So these are terms that is used there. For thus said the Most High, Elohim of Yasharel, the daughter of Babylon, is like a threshing floor, and it is time to thresh her. Yet a little while, the time of the harvest shall come. This corrupt king here of Babylon has devoured me, and has crushed me, and has made me an empty vessel, and swallowed up like a dragon, filled the belly with all the delicacies. He cast me out. So it's going to be like a threshing floor during those times. So a threshing floor is an agriculture image. It's a place where the grain is crushed under the stone. They will take a big stone. The floor would be round in a circle. So you would have some kind of object in the middle, and they would take the hoof of the ox, and he would go around and round, or you would take the stone and go around and round, and so you would crush it to get your grain, and then your husk or your you would take that. It was no good. I don't know if you can see this picture, but if you look down, it has 4 sections. Down on the bottom left, you see the parts that's no good. The man is taking it, and what is he doing it? He casting it out. The wheat from the tare, which is trash. We don't need that part. We need the wheat. But we got to crush it. This is why we go through trials and tests, so we can be crushed. Are you going to be weak and go through the trial and the testing, or are you going to be tare? Oh, child, I ain't going through that. They talking to me any kind of way. They don't know me. I'll just go to another job. I'll go to another state, and then we go somewhere else, and the same thing happening. You know why? Because you didn't pass the test. This is what's happening. And so this wicked king, he treated the people of the Most High like they was a threshing floor. He was crushing them and bruising them. But the Most High, the same thing that these wicked people did, he used the wicked to get his people back in check, so they would cry out to him and seek him to come to know that we don't need a man to rule over us. Because men, when do they fury in? That's just like when King David sinned and the Most High sent the prophet. Okay, now who you want? Your judgment is coming. Who do you want? You want me to set a man over you, or do you want me to do it? What did David say? Don't set no man over me. Because people use it. Sometimes they'll say a woman scorn, but there's a lot of men that do that too. It goes both ways. Some people is just so wicked, they'll kill you, they'll bury you, but they'll go out there and dig you out the grave and beat the meat off your bones. They falling off the cliff backwards, but they pulling out the gun, shooting. You got people that go on their deathbed. I couldn't get so-and-so. I want you to work a root against them. Or I want you to do. That's wicked. This is what the Father's getting. the fury of people, when does it ever end? When do you ever get tired? The Most High, he will have mercy. He know your heart. He knew whether or not you did it out of ignorance or you did it on purpose. He know when your heart is changed. He know when there's enough crushing. But man, not man. Therefore, his people, Zion and Jerusalem, will take satisfaction in the same violence, not laughing in enjoyment like people do when they do bad. Nah, hoo, not that. But in deliverance, that we've been delivered, we out of this place. That kind of same thing with leadership in the kingdom. Leadership and ruling is not the same thing. The Most High gave men power and dominion over the earth, beast, fowl, fish, and those that is in the fish, beast, fowl, fish, and the creepy, crawly spirit things, animals, not over mankind. So those that want to rule over people, you working for the devil. Same way with a husband. The husband is supposed to lead, not rule, control, boss, and dominate. He gave you a help meet. In order for me to get some help, that means there's a weakness there. Doesn't mean that you are less than a man, but your wife is supposed to help you. You are one flesh. So how are you striking against your flesh? Cutting off your flesh, talking to the boys about it. You didn't marry the boys. You married your wife. And vice versa, woman. He know he's not your daddy. He's not into incest. We got to come away from this garbage. This is nothing but a trick of the enemy, division. Violence is done to me and to my flesh upon Babylon, shall the inhabitants of Zion say, and my blood shall be upon them. Therefore said the Most High, I will plead thy cause and take vengeance. All of this crying, all of his people, all of the believing Gentiles that's crying out to him, the Most High is going to avenge you. That's why I read that. Vengeance is his. He going to repay. You don't repay yourself, because when you do, he's the judge. Now he got to weigh it out on the balance. Okay, I told you vengeance is mine, so you didn't believe. Okay, so they did this, they did that. So when he weighing out the balance for those who did you wrong, now he got you on the scale, because he got to come against it. Because why? He got to obey his word. We got to stand still and see the salvation of the Most High. He'll work it out. Oh, he taking too long. No, he not. He got to get the kinks out. He gonna give them a chance to see if they'll turn. He gonna show the enemy that he's in charge. They ain't in charge. They tried to kill me. They tried, but they didn't succeed. So you should be rejoicing. They won't stop. They gonna stop and quit, even if the Most High, like he said, he gonna open up the ground with some of these people, like in the days of Korah, and they gonna drop straight down. All of this stuff, this wickedness that's taking place, he is cleaning this land up. Vengeance is his. He will dry up her sea, and make the springs dry. Why? This is why I taught that lesson. I think I taught it in the parallel. It's the Egypt, the parallel with Exodus and Revelation. Because with the new heaven and new earth, there's not going to be any more of this water. This is why your Mississippi, your Euphrates, all of this water is drying up. This is why he's telling people, be stocking your water, have other means of water, do all of this, but we sitting by looking. And Babylon shall become heaps, a dwelling place for dragons, an astonishment, a hissing, without an habitation. They shall roar together like lions. They shall yell as lions and whelps. In their heart I will make their feast, and I will make them drunken, that they may rejoice and sleep a perpetual sleep and not wake up. This is what's going to happen with the adversary. I will bring them down like lambs to slaughter, like rams with the he goat. This little lamb right here, Not always, but sometimes what they will do, this little lamb right here, they get ready to, when he walk up this little strip here, he's going to be slaughtered. Sometimes they will put a number on them to mark, just like the Most High said, a banner. It is to mark. Okay, well, which lamb we going to send to the slaughter today? The one that's been marked. The enemy say he'll put a mark on you. The Most High said he'll put a mark. So whose mark you got on you? The mark of the beast or the mark of the Most High, which is the seal? Because he's sealing his people, just like the enemy got his people sealed. So, or sometimes you'll hear people say your number is up. So this little sheep here, his number is up. And so Babylon is taken and is the praise of the whole earth surprise, how Babylon became an astonishment among nations. I'm going to skip. Her cities are desolate, dry, wilderness land, wherein no man dwelleth, neither do any son man pass thereby. But I will punish this Bel here, false god, in Babylon, brought forth out of his mouth that which he has swallowed up, and the nation shall not flow together anymore. Babylon shall fall. This is that cow. See all the dollar bills, don't you? It's all about the Benjamins, baby. That's all. Tell your neighbor, give them a high five, sow a seed. You want to be blessed, tithe and offering, which is not dollar bills, it's agriculture. But we're going to continue to go with it. Then we're going to go over to Luke. Give and it shall be given unto you, good measure, pressed down, shaken together, running over shall men give in your bosom. What is the Messiah talking about? Loving your neighbor and having mercy. So what is he talking about there? When you give mercy to others, they'll give mercy to you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, running over. That's what he's talking about, not dollar bills. So if I'm taking that scripture and I'm using it, did I read that chapter, Luke? Or did I not read it? And if I read it and I know that that's not talking about dollars and it's talking about mercy, it's talking about forgiveness, then I'm fake. I'm lying and I'm a deceiver. This is what's happening. That's talking about mercy. Nothing to do with dollar bills. Dollar bills, y'all. Nothing. Now, they gave free will offering and alms. So are we supposed to take our money and spend it on self only? No. The same way with our stocking and storing. We should have something aside for somebody that the Most High will send along who need a little cushion. We shouldn't have just something for us for and no more. But we should be setting up for somebody just in case they need a little help along the way. Because why? We might need a little help along the way. He said we're going to be working our land. We got to learn how to live off the land, and we're going to be bartering. So I don't need everything I'm stocking and storing just for us. I need to be thinking about others. So the sea could represent land, could be the physical sea, but sea also represents judgment sweeping over the land. The walls represent strongholds. Walls also represents defense or tearing down. Strongholds is also mindsets, fortified walls. So all of this fallacies, these lies, all this indoctrination, all of these things we've been taught, this is how the blinders, the veil and the cloak of darkness restore sight to the blind, because the strongholds got to be pulled down so can see. If somebody explaining something to you, I don't understand this, and you break it down to them, you talking and they listening. Oh, now I see. You didn't show them a picture, but you broke it down to them where they can understand. They imagine it in their head. They absorbing it through their ear gate. This is why the adversary used the idiot box, your eye gate. You listening to it, you watching it, your eye gate, your ear gate, your mouth gate, your nose gate, your reproductive gate, your gateways on your body. So you seeing it and you hearing it. You got an image, you hear it. You may not see it. You in the kitchen cooking, but you listening. So you imagining in your head. Imagination, which is what? An image. Many people got an image of the Father and the Son in their head that's fake, based off of an image or the television or something somebody told you. You don't have a personal relationship. You got a relationship based on somebody else. These are the things. So these things must be torn down. The people of the Most High should not put trust and confidence and faith in Babylon and the systems, but in Him to keep us, to carry us, to deliver us and bring us through. We are in the world, but we must not be of the world. Materialistic. We are not supposed to be voting, participating, going to concerts, looking and watching award shows, those Olympics. That is the worship of their Greek gods and all these different things, this entertainment. We must be watchful. We must watch. We must watch. We must hear. We must be careful what we looking at, what we hearing, what we're doing, who we connected to, because false communication and deception is on the rise. So we must watch as well as pray. Warn other people. Stand strong and stand in the word of the Most High. Cleanliness is next to godliness. This is something. Oh, child, the Bible said cleanliness is next to godliness. Does the Bible say that? This right here does not appear nowhere in the Bible. If you find it, put it in the comment section and give us the book, chapter, and verse. This is an expression, a proverb found in Babylon. This is where it started at. By a philosopher and scientist, Sir Francis Bacon. Same way when you look at the phrase, ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Where is that in the Bible? Put it in the comments. Give us the book, the chapter, and the verse. This is where from ancient Roman culture. And I've heard people say that, child, the Bible said cleanliness is next to godliness. The Bible don't say that. What Bible are you talking about? This is how we adopt all these things. This is how we are in error in so many things. And we just take so much at face value. We don't look, we don't seek and search. But we are told to get out of the midst of her and deliver every man his soul from the fierce anger of the Most High, lest your heart faint, and you fear for the rumor that should be heard in the land. A rumor both come 1 year, and after that another shall come, and violence in the land, ruler against ruler. Therefore, behold, the days come that I will do judgment upon the graven images of Babylon. Her whole land shall be confounded and slain and fall. I'm going to skip down. As Babylon has called the slain of Yasharel to fall, so at Babylon shall fall the slain of all the earth. Ye that have escaped the sword, go away, stand not still. Remember the Most High far off, and let Jerusalem come into your midst. We are confounded because we have heard reproach. Shame has covered their faces. Strangers come into the sanctuaries of the Most High's house. Wherefore, behold, the days come, he says, that I will do judgment upon the graven images. He keep talking about these graven images. This is what he's doing with your icons, with these false teachers, with these different celebrities you keep seeing. All of these different things with your money systems. They're plucking it apart. The Most High is allowing it because these things is images, a lot of your monuments and different things. Though Babylon shall be mounted up to heaven, and though she should fortify the height of her strength, yet from me shall spoilers come, saith the Most High. Sound a cry, cometh out of Babylon. Come out of Babylon, because great destruction is coming. Repent and come out of Babylon. So this corrupt place has caused the people of the Most High to fall. Therefore, judgment is coming. Though they built up their tower and they got it mounted up to heaven, this is nothing but an illusion. The Tower of Babel, as they constructed as a defense to be defiant against the Most High. This is what they're doing. This is why they have them satellites up there, because they watching. They think, okay, we gonna see him when he come, and we can get ahead of him and get ahead of the clouds. You can't get ahead of the Most High. you looking for this stuff in a natural way, but you spiritual. The Most High can rip that air and send through what he want to send through without you ever knowing it. So the Most High is warning his people, those who will hear, those who will believe, to come out, so you will not be destroyed when destruction comes. He wants us to be humble, to be meek, and repent. So I encourage you to repent. We have our own things that we have to do. We must work out our own soul salvation. As Apostle Paul told Timothy, save yourself and those who will hear. So everybody not going to hear. Save yourself and those who will hear. And we must remember the Most High. We must pray and praise daily. Read and study, search the scriptures daily. We need to be fasting weekly or every other week, but definitely every week you can give something, do something, set aside some time for the Most High. Because he's going to spoil Babylon. Verse 57, and I will make drunk her princes, her wise men, her captains, rulers, the mighty men. They shall sleep a perpetual sleep, saith the King, whose name is the Lord of hosts. And so the prophet wrote in the book all the evil that should come upon the land. He wrote it down. And it shall be when thou made the end of the reading of this book, that thou shalt bind a stone to it, cast it in the midst of Euphrates. Sound familiar? And thou shalt say, thus shall Babylon sink, and shall not rise from the evil. So that was prophetic, that I will bring upon her, and they shall be weary. Thus far are the words of the prophet of the Most High. So because they enslaved the chosen ones, this is what's happening now. The single mothers, a lot is taking advantage of the single mothers and the fatherless children, even a lot of ministers. Taking advantage of the single mothers and the fatherless children, having sex with the children, having sex with the mothers. And some of them having sex with the children, not the mama, but some of them having sex with the mama and the children. A lot of people, and they talking about they called of the Most High. Murder, guilty of murder, wars, abortion. You place drugs in the community, alcohol in the neighborhood, set up operations to set drugs, war on drugs. Then got the president RR up there talking about war on drugs when y'all sent the drugs in the neighborhood. And so we arresting them for crack and this and that. But those that's snorting the cocaine, you're not putting them there because that's what y'all doing. But what is it? It's the same thing, just a different form. So y'all snorting the powder, the other one smoking the rock. But those that's with the rock, the ones that you feel is less than nothing, who you know is not less than nothing, you putting them, sending them away for life. 50 years, 10 years. But give the ones that you have that's over the borders, that's bringing it in, they ain't getting no time. This is what's happening. Change the laws, change the word of the Most High. The images, likeness of the people, created false doctrine, tithe and offering, don't keep the Sabbath, sow a seed, communion, this sexual perversion, the LG, having sex with the animals, bestiality, sex with the children, having sex with dead people, men with men, sodomy, prostitution, strip clubs, title loans, loan sharks, all of this stuff. All forms of false worship, sorcery, religion, holidays. Man is polluted, the land is defiled, and a lot of flesh is corrupt. So I shared this concerning that life. I have a slide still, so praise the Most High, I can still go over this, though the videos are not there anymore. So the Most High was talking about the transfiguration, the flame of fire, this free form without restrictions, to pull down the adversaries' men, pull down the strongholds, remove these obstacles throughout the land. I cannot speak on these things, what these things mean. These are the words that I have been given in prayer over a course of time. I taught that lesson on the 22nd of November. But the Most High will manifest and reveal these things in their timing. I don't try to make up stuff. Well, see, child, what that mean is I don't know all of these things, but he will show us. He'll reveal it to somebody or reveal it to me or howsoever will or to you. This is why we need to pray and fast. This is why he has a body, not a one-man show, because we need each other. He give different people dreams, some people visions, some people trance, some people rhema words, so many different ways that the Most High uses everybody. So we need each other, not a one-man show. Look at me. I'm anointed and I got all the glory and I'm used of the Most High and all of that. All about me. Party. He's going to be our light. He's going to guard us, shield us. The latter, the dunamis, which is strength, power, and ability, graduate and seal. One of the brothers shared a message where that the Father is sealing his people. So when you look at the word of the Most High, the transfiguration, for anybody that don't know, the Gospel of Matthew, both Gospels, 17 chapter, verse 1 through 8, and Mark chapter 9, verse 22 through 30. You can read those on your leisure. And then John, the Gospel, when the Messiah got into the ark, the boat, immediately it was transported to where they were going. So transportation we have here in the natural, which means a car, but transport, where your physical body, and you have Philip here miraculously transported. I put spirit, but it's spirit, soul, and body. Everything, you're going to be transported from one place to another, just like Philip was in the Acts of the Apostles, chapter 8 and 39. And so the new things that I was given again over the course of the time, this is new. I'm just using that same image because I'm talking about the same group of people, about the revival. So he's still talking about revival. When the Most High was speaking about a revival, you had people setting up tent revivals. That is not what he was talking about. But nevertheless, tent people, this is what he gave me. Tent people dwell in the secret place of the Most High. When they were out in that wilderness, they dwelled in tents. We should be dwelling in a tent, whether you're in a house, an apartment, a condo. We are tent people. Now, this could mean something else later. And again, a lot of things have multiple meanings, but we are supposed to be dwelling in the secret place of the Most High. Structure men, showdown. We are king's men. We are his men. He's going to work through you. He's going to use these people, his people that he have, the 144, to vanquish men, the wicked. He's still speaking about this false communication with all this false doctrine, false teaching, all these lies, all of this stuff that people is doing and saying. This is why you have to pray, you have to seek, you have to search. I tell people all the time, you cannot watch everybody. This is why I tell people, don't be sending me any and every body stuff. I don't want to hear these people. You still got people, well, the Most High, he brought me out of that church and they not teaching right, but then you still jumping on people pages and you over here on this person page and that person page and this one. You cannot do that. That contaminates your spirit, whether you know it or not. Contamination. He's speaking of a lot of men that's marrying for lust and not for love. Well, what about the women? I'm going to give you the message he gave me. Men, not everybody, is marrying for lust and not for love. He's talking about the Western way. He gave me some things about the Western way again this morning. The Western way is false. It's all about profit, chattel, property. He's talking about snake men, which belong to the adversary, multiform. It's going to come to naught, utter ruin. As I shared last year, he's been talking about people eyes changing. Their eyes is going to be changing, skin going to be changing. This stuff is going to be happening, and a lot of people going to get caught off guard. And the Bible tells you, that's why I taught that lesson, the mysteries of the gospel. There's mysteries in the gospel. There were certain things he told John in the book of Revelation. He told Daniel, don't release. He told different ones, don't release this. This is for a certain time. He said that I apologize. Got my arrow up there. Hold on. He said he will release different things to different people for different times. In Amos 3:7, he said he would do nothing, but he revealeth his secrets. So everything is not in the Bible unto his servants, the prophets. So everybody can't interpret the word. Let the word interpret the word when the word decide to interpret the word, because everything can't be released at one time. Mount up. We're going to be departing soon. Build up your mind. Build up in your gifts. It's harvest time. We got to get in this word. We got to read the word, study the word, work the word, pray the word, think the word, sleep the word, eat the word, dream the word. It's harvest time, because we got to go and get these people. He's still talking about gathering us home. Continue to wake up mankind. This is what we're supposed to do. Well, they didn't believe it. That's between them and the Most High. If you don't believe, I don't need you to believe me. I need you to believe him. When I had to go to that warlock, I said, well, they ain't gonna believe me to this and that. He said, I don't need him to believe you. I need him to believe me. When I delivered the message and I came back, he told me the blood is off your hand. Because if I wouldn't have gave that message, the blood is on my hand. So whether you believe it or not, that's between you and the Most High. Our job is to release the message. That's between you. Because they're not rejecting us. They are rejecting him. The same way with the Messiah. You want to change his name and identity? Just because a man say he a woman and put on a wig and makeup and a dress don't make him a woman. He can cut his penis off and go up to his bone if he want to. It don't make him a woman. And that's what's happening. Well, we just changed the name and the image. No, you're going to be cast in the lake of fire if you don't get it right. He's going to seal more. Appear, glorious transformation, transform men, free form. It's your frame. He spoke of being caught up in the wind, carrying the whirlwind. Cause I've been praying. If you remember 2 Kings 2:11, this is like a prophet Elijah. Now, what kind of wind is this? What kind of whirlwind? I can't answer that. Because a lot of times you'll see it depicted in cartoons, a chariot. It's not like a man-made chariot. That's a man-made image that they make, but that's the way that they can, I would say, put it together. But the fact we don't know it, we got to know that though we see these things, that doesn't mean that that's how it's going to be. We can pray and ask the Most High. I've been asking, well, reveal it or show it or give greater insight on it. So carry in the whirlwind. The whirlwind will come down and gather. Safe travel, bring down to travel, catch, transform, renew, smooth transition, translate, which is physical, spirit and soul, carry up, body, new form. So these are just words, like I said, over time. Cloud of joy, victor, shepherd, ahead of you, war plan, win. We all got a plan. We all have an assignment. We all have a call. All have a gift. What is he telling you? What is he giving you in the night? What is he giving you in the day? Is he even speaking to you? Are you saved? Do you have the Holy Spirit? That's a problem. Then if you're not praying, you're not fasting, you're not praising him, you supposed to be at your altar, priest, praising and worship, sending up those incense, singing, giving thanksgiving instead of murmuring and complaining. Third watch, I don't know what that means, but well prepared, but I put it because I know there's several places where you talk about he could come in the second or the third watch. Then I know when they departed out of Egypt, it was around the third watch. Am I saying this is what the Most High is saying? Oh, child, he's saying, no, I'm not saying that. Am I saying what is he saying? Is he saying it? I cannot say. Well, he not saying it? I cannot say. I'm just giving you the words. But as he told us to do what? Be ready. Because no man knows the day or the hour. Then I think about one of the brethren that I watched, he shared another brother, you be ready. I just started watching him. He talked about how the Most High gave him some things about a sneak attack. So is this about the sneak attack? It's going to happen when people don't know it. A lot of time people are sleeping and snoring. So I don't know what this means. I'm still praying. That's why I got a question mark. I just give these. I'm not giving any. Like I say, I give the words. I'm still praying for greater understanding. Much of this is clear, but as far as the body is going to be transformed, how it's going to be transformed and all of this stuff, and those who are alive and remain and caught up and this, and he's saying the whirlwind, the gather, safe travel, smooth transition, renew, translate, about the transformation, all of this stuff. So I'm just giving it to you. I'm still praying. You pray. Third watch, I don't know what he mean by that, but I'm releasing it. It's for us to pray and to seek him about it. Maybe somebody out here, this is why I tell people share the messages, because he used everybody differently. Somebody else may have the answer. If we all get together and pray and be on one accord, then it could be we can get the divine revelation concerning these things. And so when we look at, I'm using this scripture I use in Kings there with Prophet Elijah. We know here that the apostle tells us about the bodies, the celestial body, which is spiritual. Our Father and Creator is not a glob. And when you read the word, it describes him. His hair is described like wool. His skin is described like brass. The Messiah is also described. What type of hair? White, like wool. So if I'm looking at image and they hair not white, I know that's not it. He didn't say blonde, didn't say red. White, eyes like flaming fire. His feet is like brass, burnt brass. I know what color burnt brass is, so I know that this image that you're talking about is false. So if anybody else is reading and studying the word, how you gonna get mad? What are you going on? The Western way, or are you going on Yahweh? Then you have the terrestrial bodies, which is earthly. But when you read the word, it describes the Father as a form. He had a form the same way with Moses. You can see his back, his hinder part. It don't mean his behind. It means the back from his head down. So he has a form. And so it talks about these things. Each one has their own glory. He goes into this. The sun got their own glory. The moon got their own glory. The stars have their own glory. They all got their own glory. It's a different form, but they got a glory. So we can't think that we better because, the men better than the women. This color skin better. Those got money, they better. Those with a greed better. This is the world's way. This is not Yahweh. We all may be different genders, different ethnicities, different languages, different tongues, but we all got our own glory. Nobody is better. We all have a message. We all have a call or an assignment. And so he speaks of the resurrection of the dead. It is sown in corruption, but it is raised in incorruption. So if a person fall on sleep, meaning you are in the Most High, or you die, meaning you out of, your body is corrupt, meaning you gonna decay. Let them dig you up 5 years later. You gonna see that it's gone, unless something happened where you've been preserved that long. But raised in incorruption. That means no more death, no more sorrow, no more decay. It is sown in dishonor, but raised in glory. It is sown in weakness, but raised in power. Sown a natural body, but raised a spiritual body. There is a natural body and a spiritual. So we have to know that. We are spirit first, then soul and body. The body is the outer layer. We need a body to be here on the earth. We need this body, but the Most High, he has a body, but it's different, spiritual. And so it is written, talks about the first man, Adam, made a living soul, but the last Adam, some say the second Adam, was made a quickening spirit. So in order for me to be quickened, I need his spirit. Howbeit that was not first which is spiritual, but that which is natural, and afterward that which is spiritual. The first man is of the earth, earthly. The second is from above, the heavenly, with the Most High. As the earthly, such are they also earthly. And the heavenly, such as they also heavenly. Though we are on earth, we need to be seeking the heavenly things. We need to be doing the heavenly things. We need to be governed according to the heavenly things. And as we are born in the image of earthly, we are also bear the image of heavenly. So I'm going to hit the yellow parts. Flesh and blood cannot enter the kingdom of the Most High. So what kind of flesh or what kind of form? I cannot answer that. This is what the Most High is talking about, this transition, this transforming. He's speaking of it. I cannot answer because he didn't give it to me, but this is what he's talking about now. These things is to prepare people because the time is drawing near. The 5th seal opened in October of last year. We got the 6th and the 7th seal. He already spoke about bowls, which is what? VIALS, clear glass containers that hold liquid, MEDICINE. That's what it means. We shall not all sleep, so everybody not going to die. But we shall all be changed. Everybody not going to fall on sleep, but everybody is going to be changed, whether you are in his will or out of his will. It's going to be in a moment, in a twinkling of an eye. That means it's going to be fast. How fast? I can't tell you. We shall be changed. The dead is going to rise. We all going to be changed. Corruptible must put on incorruptible. The mortal, immortality. So those who reject, who resist, as I spoke of the lake of fire, your body going to be changed too, to absorb all that you got to go through in the lake of fire. So you can allow people to deceive you and you think hell and the lake of fire is not real. It's real, baby. Well, I don't believe that God would do that. He didn't do it to you. You did it to yourself because of unbelief, continuous rejection. Just sitting around thinking you got time. Time is in the Father's hands. Life and death is in his hands. You don't have time. The time is now. The time is now to repent and turn and change. This is what happened to the in the parable with the rich man and Lazarus. Oh, send me back, or send somebody back from the dead. Father Abraham said they got Moses and the prophets. Nobody is coming back from the dead. If you don't hear the prophets and the teachers, the ones that's telling you, and you don't read and seek and search, That's up to you. We trying to tell you as hard as we can. I don't know no other language to tell you. O death, where is thy sting? O grave, where is thy victory? The sting of death is sin. The strength of sin is the law. But thanks be to the Most High, which giveth us the victory through our Savior, Yahusha HaMashiach. Therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Most High. What's your work? What's your gifts? What's your talents? What are you doing? Are you witnessing? Are you speaking against evil, or are you silent? Are you seeking? Are you searching? Are you praying? Are you praising? Are you working the work? You stocking, you storing, you planning, you getting it ready, you telling others. This is what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to be working while it's still day. For as much as ye know that your labor is not in vain. Well, they didn't hear me. Your labor is not in vain. They rejected me. Your labor is not in vain. They told me they didn't want to hear it no more. Your labor is not in vain. They took my post down. Your labor is not in vain. Nobody didn't like my post. Your labor is not in vain. So let's talk about the goats. I'm going to share again. I'm going to do the copyright disclaimer again. I'm not going to read it out, but I'm going to share the videos, the articles for educational purposes and for comment. I do not own the rights to any of these things. I do not support the beliefs. They do not support my beliefs. And I don't know them, and they don't know me. But I'm, again, sharing these things. It's up for you to believe, research, seek for yourself. It's available, because these people have to make these things available. The Most High makes it available so that we can pray and say, I come against this, and pray against it, not just concerning yourself, but concerning all people at large. And then we supposed to take the stuff, instead of sitting around scared and going out of our mind. We supposed to trust and believe in him, but we supposed to be telling other people what the enemy's plan is. And if we are praying and fasting and being intercessors and warriors like we supposed to be, though the enemy has a plan, the Messiah has one too.
Officials in 2 Latin American countries alerted the WHO of several outbreaks of a new infectious disease that's mysteriously appearing across the region: severe epidemic enterovirus respiratory syndrome 2025. Over the past 6 weeks alone, there have been 500 confirmed or suspected cases reported. The virus could cause a severe pandemic if early containment and mitigation efforts are not successful.
The pandemic in this type of situation and trend would be a risk for the global health security.
Pandemics are inherently political, financial, and so much broader.
We have not spoken on the leadership in country. And I think that we need to be also very careful. We cannot decide a lot of things without the leaders be involved and agree on that.
There is no substitute for national leadership.
It's important to support the local response or the national response.
Training those that are in these areas first, enabling them with the tools, protecting them, and if needs be, regional solidarity first.
At this stage, communication is key, and communication should include not just scientists with data, but also social, religious, and political leaders.
Trust. This is an essential issue, and trust was broken among countries, between populations and healthcare systems, between healthcare systems and governments.
I'm very sorry to say that in 2025, we need to strengthen the health system.
WHO needs to be a voice for the voiceless.
No one is safe until all of us are safe.
As of today, there have been an estimated 1 billion cases worldwide, with more than 20 million deaths, including nearly 15 million children. Countless millions are alive, but left with paralysis or brain damage. The most successful countries are those which invested in preparedness and trained for this moment years in advance. This included having full-time pandemic preparedness and response teams, which conducted detailed operational planning and routinely tested those plans through exercises and drills. If more countries had participated and heeded the guidance, the toll might have been much less.
As you can see, it was an exercise. Brain dead and paralysis for the babies. Isn't that wicked? Brain dead and paralysis. It's an exercise. Let's roll to the next video.
What makes an exercise really, really valuable is if it's firstly well planned and thought through, but then if the results of that exercise are thought about and then changes that are suggested by what we learn are actually implemented.
Most of us don't respond well if we face something that's rare and catastrophic. It's almost like inoculating them. Exercises are a form of inoculation for emergencies. You start to bring together people that need to respond to the crisis, but they've never met each other before. They don't usually work with each other. And people from different departments getting to know each other and learning to cooperate really helped.
So different sorts of exercises that I've participated in have included all government agencies here in Australia working together to work through the consequences of pandemic. I've participated in several of those.
The value comes in not only the learning, but the interaction that you have with others.
This exercise was particularly valuable because it catalyzed, or it brought together the essence of what can we do to be prepared for a situation that is per definition unpredictable.
That interactive experience and working with people who can contribute and who can add new perspectives is something that I think is of great value.
I'd like to sort of perhaps highlight 5 factors that will, let's say, need to be considered before you can achieve that aspirational goal. The first factor is, I think one needs to be aware of the context. The second point is coordination or lack of coordination. The third issue, which is related to that, is leadership. In my experience, it is so important to have strong political will and commitment. The fourth factor, which I think is particularly important here, is credibility. Okay, you talk about tabletop exercises. Okay, who actually owns the exercise? They want tabletop exercises which are relevant to the local context. The fifth factor is just to highlight that in many developing countries, the concept and the idea of a tabletop exercise is not so commonly understood.
You need exercises at different levels of resource intensity, and you also need to be able to spread it out because, you know, for the small group of people, the 20 or 30 people involved in an exercise, it's real for them. If you have a really good exercise, it has to be technically sound. It has to be, you know, a well thought out scenario.
if the participants are active in their respective roles, it also provides a networking and just getting to know opportunity for the participants. It's already hard to pick up your phone and call someone in peacetime. In a stress situation, it is really, really nice. And you fall back on people who you have had interactions in the past.
It's one thing to read something. It's one thing to witness something. It's another thing altogether to be engaged in something.
We know there is no substitute for having practiced everything from fire drills through to what happens if we need significant health resources deployed to an accident or an event of that kind. So we need both sorts of exercises, but thinking about what's timely, what's relevant is really important.
So the value of an exercise is that it uncovers blind spots, things you hadn't considered before, and it raises awareness, not just in the staff that are involved in the exercise, but also in the policymakers and the decision makers as to the types of resources and coordination and decision making that has to happen.
The kinds of people who should be involved in exercises don't just include health professionals. These events include transport workers, they include people working in production, factories, they include government workers in treasuries, all across all parts of our society. So thinking about the breadth of people who will have to respond and making sure that representatives of those groups participate, I think means that we can be much better prepared.
It's much harder in a resource dependent environment, but at the same time, it's especially.
Now notice stakeholders was across. That mean gaining money.
Important in those environments.
And when you sort of push it up to the level of the policymakers and decision makers, it makes the crisis real to them as well. And it helps them then free up the resources that are needed for these kinds of responses.
There's no doubt that previous exercises did give us some level of preparation for this pandemic.
To the extent we're able to make some recommendations based on that experience. And those recommendations could become the basis for either new regulation, public policy and legislation, statutes that could be developed, and certainly a far more effective effort to plan for the next challenges as they present themselves.
So you may need a certain amount of awareness raising, even education, maybe cite examples of tabletop exercises that have been done in developing countries, not just in health, but in other areas. What I would hate to see is for the tabletop exercise to remain on the tabletop.
So for all countries, regardless of income, regardless of geography, these sorts of exercises can really be beneficial. And it can be sometimes difficult for them to be organised. People are busy, they cost money, but I think it's worth thinking about as a collective, as the world, how it is we help people do this kind of work.
And this is the right time to do it, because it's not a question of if, it's a question of when the next pandemic will hit.
All right, I'm going to start rolling in articles now. Some of the articles, as I said, I'm going to speak without speaking, highlight. I'm going to say words. Those who familiar will know what I'm saying without saying. So we're going to push forth. Again, I do not own the rights to any of these things under the Copyright Act. This for educational comment. Let's see. And this is so that we'll know what's taking place. See where we are. How do these things line up with scripture? How is it going to affect? Some of these things may not affect all of us as much as some others. Some may be immediately done in some areas. Some may be subtly done. but we still need to watch. We still need to know it, because what if somebody come to us or ask us? So the fact that we have this knowledge, we can have a little bit of insight. And as you speaking and ministering, the spirit of Rauk can speak through you during that time to be able to minister to that man, that woman, that family, whosoever. This article, I pray that you can read it. Let's see if I can blow it up a little bigger. Sometimes you blow it up too big. Let's see. But if you see on the top, it's dated on the 10th of this month for this year. If you want to do a greater research, this is the website here. This is the title of the article. This is one of a top, as they call, in the nation. This is the term that's been thrown out. And so when people like to say that they are a blank theorist, really, then why are we using the term so loosely? But I guess they can use the term in their own time, but we can't. As they say in their secret covenant letter, they can see far. Anyway, you can listen to the article if you come. It's a 4-minute article. So this person says that we're in the new order. And they have this globe outlook. It was released 2 weeks ago. This person is over 10 trillion in investments. The world's biggest leader. This is the kings. What is the big chief doing? They're actually called wallets. I did that lesson. What's in your wallet? Track, allocate, and they're using this word right here along with the word footprint. What's your footprint? It leaves an image, don't it? When Sherlock Holmes trying to find a man, what they do, take the magnifying glass and track you by your footprint, don't they? Come on, somebody. Or am I dreaming? It's to promote this right here. It's not a theory. It's a conspiracy, but it's not a theory. These are facts. It's why it's in the open space. You can go to this article if you want and click on this global investment. I'm not, because I have so many different articles, probably about 10, but I'm going to try to push through fast so we can finish. But you can go through these yourself. The global blocks. They have this image here with the market. And see, all of this stuff, this don't have anything to do with us. Don't care about it, but don't care about you. This is from page 11, that article there. Now, look at the two nations here in parentheses. Let's see. See these three right here. European nations. They keep talking about the green. Different things. I'm not going to go through all of it, but you get the gist. This is a video from before where they asked about, are we ready for it? I shared this video already, but we're in a war. Many people don't think so, but we are. I'm going to the next article. Like I said, I'm going to be hidden and missing, but you get the point because so many things you cannot say. And, but that's just the way it is. All righty. So here we have, as you can see, the title of this article above the top of the article. I'm going to share a lot of these. As you can see, this .com, they actually have a page on the face BOOK as well. As you can see, the special ID, same here. I guess that's a specific name. And what does it come with? As you can see, this article was rolled out when 2019, ahead of time. So when people was talking about this right here, that was connected to Billy Goat Gruff, it was said that it was false, but this is a program and a summit in the city where the Most High said for his people to come out of, with the government over here and with the alliance with these people, which I shared multiple times. This arena and these arenas, they call it humanitarian, but it's not. So this is what they're going to do. As you can see, 2019. So when did this happen? 2019, when we told this stuff. So these people are ahead. This is why they host these meetings. So we're going to get the children, huh? So let's see what they said. This is 2019. 80% of the children and adolescents, they don't have this. So how can we get this? Because there are some parents that actually took this, but they said, I'm not going to give it to my children. And so we got to close the gap according to what he said on this page. We got to close the gap. So in order for us to get the gap closed, we got to do something to get the gap closed. Let's see who they partner with. Got the college here. The same one that does the brain images, the brain memory, where they can see your dreams and all that stuff. The brain movies is what they call them. This place right here, we got the homeless people. So they got it. And so we got to give the people without houses power. Do homeless people get checks? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they do. Maybe they get it somewhere. So they also launch these as well. Because guess what? We got to get everybody, y'all. We got the refugees. We got to get the refugees. So let's move to the next article. So that was 2019. Let's see what else we have here. Same website at the top here. This article was released the 19th of July, 2021. And it says, this place becomes the first to use this, as you can see. So their partnership is with, they wrote October 2021. And the system that they used here, this same system here is also used for babies. Babies that are being born in different places, they're using this as well. So after dispensing these, the system would move to incorporate other routine services. And what is it for? Universal. So as you can see, it says track, this is according to, and they have a blog. So you can pull that up, because sometimes people say, well, that's not true, that's false, and this is that, and false information. It's on their blog. Moving to the next article. Some may know these things, some may not. A lot of people may not believe, but I mean, it's here. Again, oh, this is same website. This is civil and national. Identify, verify, and the purpose is to connect with it is also used for these border. You want to vote. This is what they have. They already have these for voters. They have these for driver's license. You see this place here? They're collaborating. This area here, they're changing. They're going to use both. And when if you want to go on these sites, you can, and you can click on this stuff and it will take you into another article. They're going to begin driver's license. They rolled out a plan in 2020, but now they have the vote. You want to vote? This is for your newborns. From the cradle to the grave. 14 million. This area here. So many different places. This is the tabletop exercise that was done, and not just the recent, but even past. This is on centerforhealthsecurity.org. So you can find this yourself. Centerforhealthsecurity.org. Tabletop exercise. This is the one that they just had. October 23rd, 2022. Let's see if I can blow it up a little more. I think that may be great. So you had this place like they had the one before, partnering with, and of course this comes from him. So it was in 2023. You had the same place, the same center, partnership with the same. This is where they hosted this one. This was right before the rollout, October 2019. And it was for getting prepared. They use pigs in that one, but we know that they let the bat out the bag. That's what they said. So there may be changes. Never heard of it. And of course you won't. They had this tabletop. This was in another place where judgment shall be, 2018. And so we got to find out how we can diminish these things. Addressing present concerns, May 15th, 2018. Then we had another tabletop event here. Transatlantic. To mimic a summit because we may have this happening. This was the 14th of January. We've heard of this one before. And what do we have? Right here. And this one was set different meetings over 2 weeks. It was held at the base here. All right. This is an article. I don't own the rights to any of these things. But as you can see where the article comes from. So if you want to read this stuff, click on the blue things. You're more than welcome. I cannot share any of these links. They will push these out. I tried to do a live before. And because I had the link, try to share the links, they will not. So you have to do these things yourself. Some people want you to put the link for everything, but you can't. Just can't. So these people are over this stuff. We know that the core is leading it with this whole system. And they have what they call, ooh, this treaty here. They have that treaty there. And so all who is a part of this organization will be bound by it. And so everybody that signed must follow and obey. It also gives them, they're going to take, like that song, I got the power. They're going to do it. Then, of course, you have these, the wallet, because we got to get around the globe. This agent is there. This is his name. This name is 666. And so the book of Revelation says his name and the number, because it's in there, like ragu. It's in there. You have the name and you have the number. So those that's rooting for this wing and that ring, (1948) is the same year that those people said that the state was reborn. And this particular horn has functioned as the mouthpiece of this group of people, and everything in between. They operate. We're battling giants. Notice the word big, big, and big. This word has been given a lot by the Spirit of the Most High. But again, you can read this on your own time. Let's see. I'm going to pull up this. This was on Facebook. This is the people actual website. These are some different things that they're doing as well. Let's see. Is it big enough? Trying not to. Let's see. Trying not to show people pictures. I'll take that down. I will not do that one. Let me go to the other articles because I don't know how to take people face down. But I'm going to show this video. This is over in California. One of the brethren has showed this to me because this is where they're going with the stores. This is already happening. That's another reason why the Most High is saying, come out of these places. We must trust and believe him. And in order to do that, we must obey. Let's see. Try to link this one up. I tried to make sure that the person's information wasn't on here. Let's see if I can. I don't know if I can blow it up or not. Let's see. I think that should be good.
Very strange.
Like
This
the
is Whole
stores, right?
Foods Market.
They scan your stuff in your bag, right?
So you can't even walk into Whole Foods unless you go through this machine. I need my own QR code. How do I get my own QR code? How do I get my own QR code? I have to have my own QR code to come into Whole Foods.
You don't have to press anyone.
What do? They just what?
It
What
just
are they?
knows you have it because it scans it.
It knows you have products.
Yeah, it's like the Wi-Fi or whatever it is. It scans your products.
Whoa! And this is the future of grocery stores. Whoa! Who did this first? Where in California?
Where was the first one? You know which city? She's from California. So we have 10 minutes and then we got 5.
And it's with Amazon. Whole Foods and Amazon are requiring us to enter. This is very strange.
It's like
This
the
is Whole
stores, right?
Foods.
That's in California. And as the Most High said, for his people to come out of California too. But I went online and found the article. In order for you to be able to go into these Whole Foods and a lot of those grocery stores, they already have hundreds of these stores set up. In order for you to go in these places, you got to be scanned. You got to have those codes. And I've shared before about that dream that I had with that pie. I wanted that pie, but they told me I could not get the pie. I had to have a number. I said, what number? Everybody got a number. You don't know your number? I said, no. I said, well, I have money. Nope, you got to have that number. And I could not get it. So I went home because I was not going to participate in this. And this is why the Most High is telling his people to plan and prepare, to learn how to live off the land, get your seed, get this, get that. But a lot of people laughing and giggling and mocking and scoffing and wasting time. It's coming down the line. Biometric. Oh, I didn't mean to say that. Update. Same page. Multi-million-dollar contract. This right here. Again, this another place, a stronghold right here. Corruption. They're working on this. They are the ones that's connected with South Carolina. Oh, child, we in South Carolina. Oh, we over here and we over there. Include the increase, the minimize. Like I said, I'm going to say without saying. The agreement will expand. These you can click on. I'm going to click on down at the bottom. It's a validation tool. So they trying to, because they know fraud is going to come, because some people going to fake it just like they fake those other cards, because they don't want to get this, but they want to be able to get what they need. So they're already working. According to this customer, including the largest North America retailer, they want to reduce this. And they have this 6-month test right here. U.S. state of South Carolina. So they're going to be able to try to spot it. They said to reduce this, but we know better. Well, some of us know better. So I clicked on the 6-month trial. This was back in 2022, by the way. So in the state of SC, is used to they're doing this test trial in this area here. They targeted 31 bars and restaurants to deploy what? So we calling them a smart mobile. So they're working with this company here. They began the air pilot here. This group, which is called here, is going to pay for the air pilot. And the air pilot here is top of the line, they said. You may have not known it, but it says here and here with the badge, they already use some of these. So this is what's taking place. So some people think, well, child, we in this place and that place. They're all over. They're working this stuff and building up these systems, whether you believe it or not. Because a lot of people think because they don't see it or we're not hearing about it, because we have to look and search. Again, this is the same place here, because they rolled that out in Uganda in 2019, India 2021. And they have the payment cards. They have the 24-hour eyeball viewing. Where is this at? What year? This is in 2019, people. They got the chain and this. As they said, birth to the grave, 2019. And they have another baby in another area over in some part of Africa. And who is it by? This company right here participated in the Holocaust. You can Google that and search it. They participated in the Holocaust. Before the Holocaust, what did they do? They did a census to track all the people, who's who, how many people we got. We got to know how many we got to get rid of. And before they did their dirt, what did they do? Didn't they do a big census? Nothing new under the sun. So them, and I don't know who this is. So they did a pilot, an air pilot project. They partnered with this. Oh, and they also have this with your death certificates too, by the way. And they put the children footprints and all of this stuff. And you want to go to the doctor and get this and that, you can get money and all this stuff they have. A lot of things I've been researching. But this is happening. But we have to trust in the Most High in order for us to be able to stand and remain. Know that He is with us. He will not fail us, neither leave us. Same website up here. So those that, oh child, I'm going here and I'm going there and I'm traveling here and I'm traveling, child. Well, this is what these, when you was putting your face up there and your forehead up there. It's also this. They get in your face. Continue to be upgrading. Scanning. All of these. They already got your face scanned. I shared already to where they was taking people who like to do selfies with their mask on these different social medias. They actually used all those people's faces to see if they could track, they could TRACK you with your MASK on. Well, I just put me a MASK on. They can't, they already got a system for that. All of this was just a trial so they can get their stuff in order, because this is why they're going to get the next plan rolling. Because now, if you don't have this, you won't be able to go about. Let's see. This is the next article. Like I said, I have 2 more articles and I'm coming to a close. But you can actually go to this website. This is one of the strongholds again that the Most High said for his people to come out of. Birth, death, marriage. And they also have the driver's license. They already had the driver's license. I sound the alarm. These different markets, you can't, as the person was saying over here, they got over 200 and something one of these. A lot of banks is closing. I shared 1 or 2 articles on my Facebook page. One of the sisters shared a video of somebody she watched on Facebook. He goes to the one called America to get some money to do a transfer, and how the woman was saying how they're going to be closing their branches. They already told them, because they're switching to this different money. This money right here, they're switching. When they switch this money, we cannot use it unless you want to be a part of the system. This is why the Most High is sending the warning for people to prepare. How he gonna work out your bills and where you live? He'll tell you. You might have to go live with somebody. But be humble and meek and do whatever it is he's saying. He may pay your house off some kind of way or whatever. I don't know. I can't answer. Will it be full force throughout every place? I cannot answer that. I'm still asking. It may be and may not be. Could be some in areas. I know a lot of things is going to hit a lot of these major cities. May not be as strong or as fluent in some of the smaller areas, the rural areas. So how it's going to be, I cannot say, but it's going to affect all of us either way in some shape or form. One of the brothers, he was saying how they cut off the money, the SOCIAL checks of some of the elderly, where they were supposed to get an increase, they got a decrease. This stuff is happening, people. That's what he said. They cut down some of their change. So this is what they have, because they want to be the first in the state to issue this for your birth, your death, or your marriage. So this is what they're coming up with. All of these different things, and it's going to be, when they told you that it was a pass, PORT, it's not. It's a wallet. Everything is going to be on your wallet, on your smart gadget in your hand. And the boy said, in order for you to go in that store, you got to have that QR code. You got to have this stuff. And this is one. Oh, I went too far up. Same website. This is your money. You can read this. They have different, like I said, you can click on the blue, read different areas. They have it over here. They have an option. This was rolled out in 2022. They entered into a 6-year contract with these people. These two. They got it with them. These two, you see them a lot together. This article, October 7th, 2022. Let's see. But we know he already signed that order. Says this agency here. I'm not going to play the video, but like I said, you can go to these things yourself. So they said that they have not committed, according to this person here, but it would have to be under 4 conditions. Privacy. Got to verify. Then this person, this lady here, down with the other place. They have this over here in their area. So they plan on next year. But again, that was rolled out in 2022. So that's 2023. We hear it's upon us. And so this is what is happening, whether we know it or not. I shared this video. Let me pull up. You can go to my Facebook, not my Facebook, my YouTube page on the community page, and you can watch it. But you can also go on this website. Let's see if I pull it up. If you see on the top here where it's coming from, that's the article. And that's the name of it. But like I said, I have it in the community section, the link to it. But you can go on my YouTube page. This is the title of it. And I'm winding down. I shared this back in March 2022. You have this company here. This is in 2022. But if you look at the heading, they were already planning to get some out, as you see, by 2025. Then you have this article on the right, dated the 23rd of September. The 23rd of October, 2017, where they had this here, this article. It's a PDF. It may be online still, it may not. But as you can see, the name of it, and it's dated for 2025 to 2028. I shared this. He went overseas and they've already provided 647 million doses of, and you see the word in red on the left above his name beside his face, those to children over in Pakistan. 647 million. I got this off of the Facebook page for this particular website, the UAE website. So anybody want to say, well, this is false or inaccurate, then address that particular website, because that's where I got it from. Then you have here over in the lab with the white coats, they take in a strand and they're making a hybrid. This is just some images, clips from that video. As you can see, he's in the mist to help to prepare them. And again, it will affect the children and young people, according to them, disproportionately. How do we know this? That's him again speaking. So they want to increase the trust in the government and public health. Misleading information. Then you have a lot of doctors that's coming out now who's saying, oh, stop this. Oh, so many people is dying. The ones who were saying, get it. Now, oh no, we got to stop it. Oh no, we can't do this anymore. And so we have this man, they're going to do more suppressing. You can find this article there. And then, of course, you can see this article there. This is dated 2019. Investment. Same thing as stockholders. And again, I shared all these things under the copyright disclaimer for educational purposes only. So under this Copyright Act law, I have the right to do so. That is the end of the session. I'm closing. I'm going to close in a very brief prayer. Precious Heavenly Father, my divine creator and savior, I pray that I shared everything that need to be released. I pray that the word has been made clear and plain. I pray that the word will fall on good soil. I plead the blood of the Messiah over this live, over the video, against every weapon. I ask that the weapons shall not form. Don't allow them to prosper, neither take root against this work and the work of your people that is sounding the alarm. I ask for your divine hedge, wall, shield, and protection to continue to keep us, shield us, and block out every work, every word, and every weapon of the enemy. I ask that you touch your people, help thy unbelief, help us trust in to believe in you. Let us be with you because you are with us. Let us obey you. Let us trust you. Let us follow your commandments. Let us do what it is that you are saying. Let us build. Let us plan. Let us prepare. Let us read. Let us study. Let us seek. Let us search. Let us go out and minister. Let us gather the harvest like you are telling us to do. Whatever shall come, we know that you are with us. Help us and use us to build, to strengthen up others. Let us carry the message, carry the work. Let us give birth to what you have given us. Allow your flame and your fire to grow within our innermost being. Let us continue to work the works while it's still day. Though these things may come upon the land, we know that you are protecting us. We know that you are carrying us. And let us continue to put our faith and trust in you so that we will be there alive and remain, so that you will gather your people, so that we will be great witnesses for you, that we will be consistent, so that we will not waver, so we will not buckle, so we will not fall, and we will not fail. in this time, because as the time draws nigh, you said that the time for the Gentiles will soon be over. The grace age is coming to a close. You said that the door will soon be closing. I pray that those who hear the message, share the word, I pray that they will repent, they will cry out, repent of their sins, ask forgiveness, cry out, that you will fill them with your divine spirit, fill them with your Ruach. And I pray that they will seek you and trust in you and run for you. Do what it is that you require them to do in this hour. I thank you and I praise you and I worship you. And I thank you for the ministry and the opportunity and allowing me to take the time to be able to do these things. You are just, you are loving, you are kind and faithful, and you are worthy to be praised. I pray that you bless each and every one, supply whatever need, minister to their mind, their heart, their soul, their spirit, increase their finances wherever they lack. Most High, I ask for divine intervention for whatever it is that your people, your called, your chosen, your true bride will need. I pray that those that are in the four walls place somebody in their place, Most High, on their path. The backslider, the unbeliever, the doubters, place somebody on their path that they will hear this word, that they will receive this word, that the fallow ground will be broken. Where there's a seed, send somebody to water. And where there's no seed, send somebody to sow a seed. And then send somebody to water that seed so they can increase and turn to you now while you may be found. I thank you and I praise you and I bless your holy name. And I decree, declare that these things shall be so and that they shall stand. Hallelujah. I pray that each and every one have a wonderful day, a wonderful week. Remember the Sabbath day, keep it holy. Trust and believe in the Most High. His word and his promises is true. Remember to save yourself and those who will hear. Continue to push forward and serve him. Honor him and love him. Hallelujah. Shalom, shalom.